Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in negative territory this morning after coming off an historically positive week last week for all three major U.S. indexes. Slightly to the downside this morning, despite news over the weekend of an historic OPEC agreement for production cuts when it comes to crude oil. We also had confirmed cases in the U.S. of COVID-19 topping 550,000 now, more than any other country in the entire world. Crude oil, a little bit negative at this point. We started very high in the overnight session. It was up about 8%, came all the way back to negative territory, trading about flat at this point after a massive agreement from OPEC producing countries on production cuts because of lower demand due to the coronavirus. Prices as a whole down 40% since March because of the disagreement between Russia and Saudi Arabia when it comes to prices as well. In the pre-market this morning, we're seeing some airline stocks moving back to the upside once again. We'll have a look at UAL and AAL. I noticed leading the way so far for the airlines, Boeing in positive territory as well so far. We also have J&J, JPM, and Bank of America set to report quarterly earnings. We haven't had some significant earnings for a few weeks now, so it'll be nice to get back into earnings reporting season. It is a bit of a mixed session overnight for Asian markets. Europe's open, trading to the upside as well. It's Monday, April 13th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. A look at North American stock futures at this point. Back in negative territory here, ever so slightly, 0.3% for the S&P. We have the Dow about 0.3% to the downside as well. The NASDAQ just hovering in negative territory. TSX futures here in Toronto looking at a bit of a negative start. Brazil's open to the downside already with Bitcoin lower this morning. Crude oil is higher, but as we mentioned, well off of the overnight session highs, was up 8% plus at one point. Gold back to the downside this morning as well. An interesting start to the new week here. We have a number of virus-related names or vaccine-related names back in positive territory this morning, including Gilead, which is an interesting story that we'll get to. Good morning, guys. Brand new week. How are we looking this morning?
Already pretty active. I think it's one of those ones you talked about some virus names, and a few of them are certainly in play, whether you want to talk about BCRX and people are watching, or CanF. CCL just broke 12 even here. I actually just took out Hatch on. I hope you did not. It looks like it's still moving to the downside. Some people are asking, should they be buying oil? There's going to be a lot to cover here, oil companies specifically. I think a lot of that was priced in when it comes to that cut, the 9.7 billion barrels. I think realistically, you did see a very modest move back to the upside in the price of oil before pairing a lot of it off. It's going to be wild. There are a lot of names to cover. I would show you the profits within the company, but the last trading day was Friday, and the only things that were open were a couple of European markets, so not a heck of a lot to show there, Shonda. I'm curious. I don't know what you were looking at with CCL, but for me, I actually thought that 1180, there was a buyer there that maybe I should have got some out in front of. Maybe that was the wrong call.
It looks like the wrong call, but I did get out of some as well. I mean, my best out here, 65. I mean, check this breakout, guys, here. It's pretty simple. Breaking down through $12. I wanted to smash it, obviously a lot harder than this, but what are you going to do? I don't like to take trades too much in the pre-market. Cover some at 90, then 84, then 75, then 70, then 65. So, it's pretty nice already. 20 so pennies in the money. We'll see what happens here. CCL could give it all back. There's not too much on the imbalance locator or anything, but CCL, AAL, Delta, a lot of these stocks moving here in the pre-market. I guess as expected here, as we're March to positive, we just keep on the futures here, making higher lows here. So we'll see what happens as we open up. And I think it should be a decent day. Shouldn't be overly active, but hey, for a Monday, we should see some kind of movement here.
All right, guys, we're going to get to Stuart Shoddy joining us from the CSC if you're a trader that looks at the Canadian landscape coming up here in a few minutes. But let's get over and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, everyone, and hello. Welcome to the live trading show. Guys, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. We're live every day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, I would like to tell you about our new segment. We are trying to be even more helpful for you. Now we are going to do a question of the hour. I'll be choosing the best question on the chat and say to the guys, don't worry guys, we'll be doing that every day. If today we didn't took your question, you still have a chance tomorrow. Stay tuned and show on the chat that you really want your question to be answered. I'll see you later.
Absolutely. Stuart Shoddy joining us from the CSE to start things off on a brand new week here Monday morning. Stuart, it's been an interesting couple of weeks, obviously. We're getting back into the swing of things after the long weekend. Obviously, how are things looking over at the CSE on this Monday morning?
Yeah, things are looking fine. Happy Easter to you and your team. I hope you all had great weekends. And lots of news obviously over the weekend with the oil deal that has been reached. Obviously, markets seem to have largely priced it in already. But with earnings season beginning, there should be some exciting opportunities on all markets really this coming week. Just generally speaking, I'll share some sort of broad observations that I've seen happen within Canadian markets. And previously, when it came to Toronto Stock Exchange listed shares, our market was doing about 2% of volume only. Over the last couple of weeks, that's actually gone up to between 4 and 6% on a daily basis. So it's quite a jump, and it's something we're quite happy about. And for the traders who are interested in trading TSX listed symbols, I have mentioned it on your show once before, but I think it might be worth mentioning again, is that we're getting a lot of retail institutions to send us first look on many TSX listed symbols. And what they're doing is they're sending those, without going too deep into the market structure, they are sending those as immediate or cancel pings for the full volume, because they're trying to hit our market maker. So if there's no top of book quotes on our market, then you would never even know that they sent that volume. So it's often getting missed. But I see there's much more activity now, much more posters, and our market share has gone up quite significantly on TSX listed shares. So using the CSE as a trading venue to try to get a quick fill is quite helpful. Also, another thing I've noticed that in pre-markets, if you are looking to trade any of the TSX listed symbols which aren't open until 9:30, I'm seeing that on our market seems to be where most of the trade is happening. Crosses seem to happen mostly on other markets because we don't pay for crosses. But if there is a news event on a TSX listed symbol, then in the pre-markets it seems like trades happen on our trading engine. So I thought I'd just share that with you guys, and I've got a couple names here that we can talk about if you want.
Yeah, no, great point, Stuart. I wanted to jump in here and just ask you about the volume in general. Obviously, a nice uptick for you guys over the past week or so. Is there a specific sector or a specific group maybe that's leading that way, or is it broad market that you're seeing that increase in the volume?
Yeah, it seems to be broad market, but having said that, most of the activity that we are seeing a broad uptick in seems to be pharmaceuticals and therapeutics, cannabis, oil, and gold stocks, and then also I suppose Bombardier. That's another one that we've seen a large uptick in. So Bombardier or BBD.B, it's a well-traded symbol. We are about 13% of the volume in that symbol. In terms of gold, YRE, Yamana Gold, we're about 7%, and that's had a nice run over the last week. In terms, if you want to look at a energy symbol, BTE or Baytex Energy and CPG, Crescent Point Energy, respectively, we're about 8 to 6% of the volume in those symbols. So those are just a few. It is broadly across the market that we are seeing it, but those are a few that I picked out specifically this morning, which I think sort of suit the theme of gold, oil, and then a few sort of industrials and therapeutics.
Yeah, big move down, obviously, in crude futures coming off the announcement as we head towards the open here. Obviously, will be a group to look at, the energy group specifically. Is there any other marketplace that you wanted to mention this morning as far as, maybe higher volume as far as individual names go this morning?
No, not really this morning. As I said, this morning I decided to kind of change it up a bit, look at some of the TSX names that are heavily traded on our exchange, and if any of you guys are interested in trading any of those symbols, then if you're looking for a quick fill that's off the main market where the books are deep, then our market is the place to be. So I'll just run through them again: GUD, BBD.B, BTE, Hexo, YRE, ACB, and CPG, well-known names in the Canadian marketplace.
Great stuff. Stuart Shoddy from the Canadian Securities Exchange. Always a pleasure. Great information, sir. We'll speak to you again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thanks very much. Cheers, guys. Have a great day.
There we go, guys. If you are a trader that likes to look at the Canadian landscape, always good to know where the volume is coming from and where easy fills are located. So good information there from Stuart. Let's get on to some things that are moving around in the pre-market in the U.S. Landscape so far this morning. I sat down and had a look at Disney initially, guys. It was a little bit of a story over the weekend announcing that they're going to furlough 43,000 more workers due to the coronavirus. Also noting that Disney World is the largest single location employer in the entire U.S. Not a lot of movement when it comes to the stocks so far this morning, but an interesting story. What do you think, Sean? I'll throw this one over to you, I guess. Disney, a name you like to trade. What do we think of Disney here this morning?
Yeah, hey, I'm still looking at that same level that we lost money on Friday, and that's this 106.80, 106.90-ish level here that we bumped up to here on Friday. We smashed it right then when we broke 106.60 or so. It was 106.60 at that time. Only went up to 107, then touches 107 here late in the afternoon. And then today, as we zoom in, look, you're up 1%, which is greater than the market that's still down. So Disney looking like a nice little long here, I would say, breaking through 105.80. We'll probably wind up taking that, but the spread right now is 30 cents. You sort of got to wait. It's 200,000 shares. I don't think that news is much of anything, Brendan, other than the fact that it's created this stock to go up. I don't know if it's a little more confidence in what they're doing over there in Disney, but as you can see, a bottom down here of 79, and then we're, right now, like I keep saying, we're having a problem breaking through this 107, 108 area. So on the daily chart, you have a little level here, basically 106. We'll probably break that right off the open. I didn't see anything as far as a market on open and balance here for Disney or anything significant. Definitely not on the first page. A lot of oil names. I'm seeing some questions about oil stocks. A lot of them are bids now on the open, so possibly something there. But Disney, yeah, we'll go long 106 and change if it does break. But it looks like the market's going to be hopefully opening close to positive here.
Yeah, we're basically, just flat. And if we get to the upside, I love those levels you're looking at, Sean. I think if we go back to the downside, sort of worth looking at Wednesday of last week. You had a bit of a top there at 102.30. So if this one pulls back in, I know Disney, you want to wait it out for buying opportunities on the way down. Certainly, you can play this both ways here. To the short side, there was a bit of a level here on Thursday where we closed at that 105, and it sort of looked like a double top at the double on the daily chart if you wanted to have a look at that as well. So, Disney, I think you can play the break. I also think if it ends up being a sell side day, usually I only go long this stock. I think there's going to be some sell opportunity. So I'm looking at that downside break of the pre-market low, and I'm looking at 102.30 as a bit of a level where I'd love to see it bounce if we get any kind of real flush.
All right, guys, we'll jump over to virus-related names or vaccine-related names. Gilead, the first one I want to talk about, a name we've been mentioning on the show quite frequently. The New England Journal of Medicine reporting over the weekend that the company's drug remdesivir showed promise in a preliminary COVID-19 study, saying it may lower the risk of death in severely ill patients. So we've heard a lot about once a patient is put into the ICU, the risk level goes significantly higher. So this remdesivir might be a solution for patients that are already severely ill. So nice look here, guys, for GILD, 3% here.
The thing with Gilead, and every time it comes up, we basically look at the daily chart and show you just how obscenely choppy it's been, since this entire mess has started out. When you go back to about mid-February, and you can see the absurd chop. It is tightening up its range, so I think there's at least a little bit more to work with today, certainly. Have a look at this 75.40 level on the bottom here, and you go to a bit of a higher time frame, and then you sort of see we had a big flush at this same price on Friday. It was basically the top, on Thursday, it was basically the top on Wednesday. It was a breakdown point as well if you go back to Tuesday. So the fact that we're basing off of that in the pre-market, that's a pretty good sign. I like to play that level both directions. So, 75.40 or so. The problem with Gilead is you have to play more of a stop range. The spread will open up a little bit. It's a little bit of wild action and choppiness. So I'd like to let it enter a price range without having a hard stop. You'll get sort of ticked in and out and jiggled out of positions far too easily if you have hard stops at specific prices. You almost have to trade it in that little bit of a range and allow it to trade through just a tiny little bit. So you might want to size accordingly there, maybe whether you take half size or whatever it is, to allow you to actually stay in the trade.
Yeah, I mean, the daily chart says it all, like Neil was talking about there. It's pretty choppy stock. I won't be looking at it too much, but it could go. I mean, it has a dollar range, so breaking through that 76 top here could be something. And yeah, I mean, it's that remdesivir. They've been talking about that for a while, so not sure if it's just going to help the ones, the severely ill patients. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of upside to that, but at the same time, it's not that big banger. I don't think that everyone's looking for, Brendan.
All right, guys, another one here worth mentioning. A little bit of a late to the party in the pre-market this morning. Works, WORX, shares significantly higher after they announced that they received a giant purchase order for their COVID-19 test kit. There's still, huge shortages for test kits. So this is another company with a version or their own version of a test, up about, what is it now, 170% here. I did note this company has a $14 million market cap, guys. This contract alone is set to about double that from what I'm reading.
Yeah, I mean, nano cap, whatever you want to call it, I guess that's the category they're going to fall into here, and that's why you see such a gigantic move. Forget about the daily chart. It's not going to show you any levels that you can work off of here, guys. This is going to be one of those where the range is going to be big. Forget about a normal $6 stock. It's already put in $4. It just tried to roll over, and I put in the chat here through $6. You got a decent flush into $5.50. That's the first sort of stand that I've really seen at any price, and it's right here. It dipped below $5.50. It then bounced off of this. So throw that one in 550 break if that's going to be an interesting level. The other thing I'm looking for is this little retracement that just happened. So 625 to 650 is going to be an interesting target range maybe if you don't think the short story is done. I'm just going to jump over here to be sure that we have locates on this one. You might have to pay a little bit, but we have shorts on work, so we're able to go ahead and jump into this one to the south side. But I'm looking at that 625, 650 area. First level of support we just saw at 550.
Yeah, I don't trade these so much, but we'll take a couple hundred shares if it breaks through the top here. WORX.NQ. If it loads up, we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. But here, 650 or so, that's where VWAP is. So just look at that. Like Neil said, it's a very, very low float stock. 14 million market cap. Not much going on. 3 million shares though. Big day, and let's just wait to see. Here's 650. It stopped here a couple times at 660, 670. That could be a range, and then you use this bottom of 550. So give yourself a little bit of room if you're going to take the shares and see what happens. As here we go. Futures now very, very close. Couple ticks away here, guys, from turning positive.
One that might be helping that here, Sean, Boeing ticking higher as well. We mentioned some of the airlines having a nice look in the pre-market. Boeing, one of those. They announced late Sunday they're going to consider a range of options going forward, including as much as a 10% cut of their current payroll. So, yeah, Boeing up 3% here on that news, guys. Also pushing up towards pre-market highs.
Yeah, 158 here is what it topped out on Friday, or on, I guess it's Thursday now. On Thursday, 158. So yeah, we're getting close to that level right here. We've topped out 157. We actually topped 157. It seems to want to trade in these even dollars. So you're going to get this break. And this is what I'm talking about on Thursday. Comes up to 157 right here again, and then again before finally breaking it and just moving $1 to 158. So we're up 3%. I like it. Obviously, it's 700,000 shares. You do have VWAP down here at 155.50. So looking at this stock, choppy up and down here. You do have some support in the 155.70 area. If you want to get super aggressive, then you do have this 157.50. I mean, just a matter of pick your poison right now. I'm still short CCL. That's 15 cents in the money. Waiting to see how that one's going to open up. But we have 10 minutes to go now, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, I like your thoughts on Boeing. I'm not even going to try to even add anything to that. I did see a question. I know we didn't talk about all of these small caps, but PSTI was just asked here, Maya. A bit of a break in the last few sessions through that 550 area. So you're going to see this one, another parabolic move to the upside. I do like these other names a little bit better, BCRX and CanF, and the reason for that is when I jump to the level 2, and I'll show you here, guys, it's very, very thinly traded. You got 1.2 million shares in volume. It's not going to be as scalable as some of the other ones here, so I think you want to trade it with caution. The other problem for me is it already gave you a rollover through 850. It made a nice little move down to 8 even, and now is coming back. So this is definitely one that I'm going to wait to see it open up and trade a little bit and make a bit of an opening range, because I think there was a bit of a pre-market retrace play. You wouldn't have been able to put on a ton of shares there because of liquidity, and then that already happened a half an hour or so ago, Brennan.
All right, guys, one that might be decent to the downside this morning, Facebook showing a little bit of relative weakness in the pre-market. Wall Street Journal reported this morning the company's online ad rates fell up to 25% month over month in March. The decline obviously coming even as more and more people staying at home. You would think being online permanently almost. We've seen a number of the other online platforms, social media platforms report higher numbers over the past couple of months. Facebook, guys, negative here this morning.
That's pretty sleepy. I mean, I don't know. It's still down 0.4. The market, I told you guys we were marching to positive here. And like Thomas the Tank Engine here, it's just chugging along. Almost at that positive area here. Facebook not doing anything. Look, it's one of those ho-hum kind of stocks right now. It's been at its recent highs. I like the stock. It's obviously discouraging to hear. And this is what I mean about recent highs. We're right here. We're going to open up at this 177.70 level or so, I believe. What are we going to open up at? Oh, 175. Okay, so we are down from this recent high, which I thought maybe we had a chance of breaking this. But here we go, 175. This little bottom is 174. I'm not overly concerned about Facebook. I don't think I'll be trading it too much today. 90,000 shares, not very huge at all. CCL, I'm waiting to get out here at 70. My best out has been 65. We're still holding this as we come down near the open here. CCL, this is the only one trade I have on so far this morning. This 99 short coming through. So we'll wait to see on 78. But for me, Facebook will be a hands-off. I wrote down 172.50. So maybe if we go back to that stock there, Facebook, if we get down to 172.50, which is down here, this little wick down here, then maybe we'll look at a short. But it looks like the futures will open up near or at positive. So I'm not going to go short Facebook, not to begin with.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that either. I actually had a little bit more aggressive to the downside. It was like 172.80 to 173, but it's sort of the same thing. Got to travel a little bit further down for me to be involved in that Facebook. I'm sort of with you, Sean, when you talk about that CCL, and we're going to come back to Carnival. Look, it's been one of the best stocks to day trade. I just want to show you this little bounce we had off of 1160 here, and then retracement failing at 1190. That seems like if we retest this one, I might take this one off at the open in case you get one of those crazy wicks to the upside. 1220 was a big level before, so I'd love to see us maybe retest that. If we don't get a shot at this 1190 again, I'm probably going to be out in front of this 1160, 1165 area, and then look for a re-entry point, whether that's breaking the bottom or giving a pullback into that 12 to 1220, which I just mentioned.
All right, guys, let's go to the banking group. JP Morgan to the upside here a little bit this morning. Nice look here, back above 103 for JPM. They announced they're going to tighten rules when it comes to lending in an effort to reduce risks, especially in their mortgage department and mortgage lending in general. So back above 103 for JPM. Also a name, guys, we mentioned at the top, they're set to report coming up later this week. So back in positive territory for JPM.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize this was even over. I mean, it's good. I bought this one in my own portfolio in the 90s, I think 80s, 90s here, so that's been a good run. Wow. JP Morgan, you may want to take some profits off here heading into earnings week. I don't know if a lot of people are uncertain of what's going to happen with a lot of these banks, so I think maybe some profit taking may happen in the next couple days on JP Morgan. Those that are long may like this one from the bottom, but just looking here, we have Thursday's top once again of 104.37. That's only only $1 away, so that's going to pop through right now soon. The high of the market morning is right here, 103.50. And here's the daily chart on JPM. I mean, it just looks like what we're talking about here. Look at this bottom, 76, 77, 80s. Now you bust all the way back up. We're back right to basically the beginning of March again here. So made up all of this. It's almost like a complete, it's almost a V-shaped recovery, but more like a U right now. We're going to see what happens here with JP Morgan as, Carnival, I see a question there about is it still going down? And the answer is yes. Here goes CCL straight to the downside, still bouncing off that 75. I'm waiting at 70. We'll see what happens, but that's JPM. I do like BAC as well, Neil, of course.
Yeah, you get the interesting double top, man. It'd be so fantastic if we could actually trade and hold above this 104, 105. That's where we turned around in March, mid-March. That's where we're headed right now. So, it's obviously going to be a key price level. If we can hold above that, next leg up is breaking through that 110. An interesting name here that every time you bring it up, Brendan, I don't love it because I get it mixed up on my quote board there. But what do you have over at the big board?
Yeah, definitely not Tesla, but TLSA. Big mover from Friday, guys. We had some vaccine news with this company. Had a huge move to the upside on Friday, gapping lower this morning. The reason I mention this is because we're seeing a number of names higher this morning because of vaccine-related news. This one, not so much. To the downside, we have a couple of levels to look at here. 335 to 340 is going to be the ultimate level resistance right through the entire afternoon on Friday. We're below support, though. 315 to 320 was support Friday afternoon. So 320 basically up to 340 we'll be watching on TLSA, guys.
Yeah, TLSA. I mean, it's only done 60,000 shares for a $3 stock pre-market. So yes, it's a mover. Yeah, I love these ones when they come back in. I just want to see some volume step up just a little bit more before we dive too deeply into that. We talked about CanF. I actually have 3 shorts on, and we talked about CCL, so no need to get into that one just yet. But CanF's been a good one, pulling back in here, give you consolidation around 230 or so. That's where my entry points were. We took 220s. We took some here at 223 as well. Sorry, 222. We've been getting out in front of 2 even, and I'm going to look to hold some for a 2 break. $1.45 is where the stock was before. It did get as high as 280 in the pre-market, but I'd love to see it roll over big time through $2 and then use that flush to be able to get out. We only have about 3 minutes until the open here, so CCL still holding below that 1185 area, so that's a pretty good one. We like that one below that 1190. Also CanF and BCRX, some small caps that are moving as well. You guys are asking a little bit about XOM and some other big names. We'll make sure we cover as many as possible. I can't necessarily trade everything, but we're trying to get as many names as we can to you. XOM up 3%. Approaching that 45 area, and the market's having some trouble getting into positive territory. XOM not the case here. For me, XOM, Chevron, the stronger names, I like to play them to the long side in the space. Oxy is another good one that I've been looking at. But when it comes to XOM specifically, pivot area right here, right now, about 44.50 to 44.60. So this will be an interesting break point if we can trade and hold above right at the open. If it breaks up and then manages to hold that level on a pullback, I'm loving that second leg to the upside. Watch out, because there's lots of room for this one to go about $1.50 before any resistance.
Yeah, I'm going to put probably the biggest position on today that we'll have if it does get to that 45.50 level on XOM. So watch out for that one, guys. I'll put that on if we do break above this 45.50. Right now, it's just too choppy for me here. Here's some questions about Zoom, so let's get over there. Zoom NQ. Okay, so once again, look, I mean, this is a dollar spread right now. It's not going to give you too much right here in the open. All I was going to say was you have this 125 close, which was right here on Friday. So, that, or I guess I keep saying Friday, but it's Thursday. This is right where we were. So if you come back all the way down here, Joseph, I see you're asking the question, you may have some resistance at 125. But again, don't trade Zoom right off the open, guys. It's a little bit too spready, to say the least. As you can see here, 160, 126.03, and 127. So that's $1 right there. So if you're trading a couple hundred shares, just to get in will put you out. So you have to wait here. Let it open up. Let the liquidity come through. But I would say breaking down from Friday, I mean, Zoom has this 122 bottom that we really like. I liked, early on we liked 114, but Zoom actually had a nice, beautiful day on Friday. So I know Google canceled some of their relationships with them. 128 to the top and 125 to the bottom, but you got to wait with only a minute to go here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's well said there, Sean. Guys are asking about CTSO, only 500,000 in volume. It's already made a bit of a bounce on a retracement play. So for me, now that it's already pulled back about 60, 70 cents from $8 even, I'd like to see it test up to this 920 mark. If he gets up there and fails, I'd like to play that roll over to the south side. But otherwise, I don't like these ones when I've sort of missed that first move on a lower high made. So that one's already happened on CTSO. Maybe if it breaks 8 even, there's a sell opportunity in there. You can revisit that one after the open when you catch a bit of an opening range trade. But with about 20 seconds here to go, I'm short BCRX, CANF, still have some CCL shares. Watch that $12 area as well on those. So lots to get to, and believe we have Valeria on the bell and got to drop this countdown. Is we're already here, guys. It is Monday, wild action already to the short side as the market trying to get positive. Can't do it.
Nope.
3, 2, 1. Here we go. Ring that bell, Valeria.
Big flush in the market there. Thank
Yeah,
you, Valeria. That was quick. She hits it and runs there. Okay. Yeah, Zoom right now, guys. That's what we looked at, 126 and just fading around, not doing a whole hell of a lot. Let's see where Disney opened up right now. Okay, so we have that Works. Works blows it off to the top, 660 to the top side here. WORX. I know you're looking short on that one, Neil. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but here it goes top side.
Booyah is what we're talking about. You can go with punching through on BCRX. Short 275 here. I will take some shares out once we get the opportunity right there. We'll take a quick 20-cent win on this. We talked about the flush opportunity. There is the big flush on BCRX, still holding a quarter of the position here, but big mover, CCL, Carnival, down through 1170. CANF moving to the downside as well. So all 4 of my short positions looking fantastic. 3 of my short positions looking fantastic already.
Okay, guys, we have CCL short right now, same thing, and boom, we're long. This WORX, I told you, couple hundred shares, ring the register already. It's already a nice day. Up to 710, 720. Let's see how high we can go on CANF, on Works. This is a nice little 20, 30 penny winner on this one, and it's just getting started here. See if we can't break through 7 and continue to go upside. Nice little trade happening here, and big trade on CCL, big trade on Works. This is how we do it, guys. Live on the show, welcome.
There's that CTSO, so exactly why I told you I didn't want that short. Look at it testing this 920 that we talked about here. Let's see what happens. You want to see whether it can fail through. If it fails, you're looking for a short retracement play. You got to make sure you got some locates in a name like this, guys. You don't want to jump in and then not be able to short it. We can, but if we fail here, we're going to roll over on this name. We did just get out of CCL in front of 1150, and it's still heading to the downside, guys. So downside action in almost everything as we're still below 8,200 on the futures. I want to jump to Boeing very, very quickly. That flushed off the open as well, so forget about the upside play there, at least for the short term. That 158-ish break, we're now $4 below, so Boeing to the south side, guys.
Guys, we're absolutely huge here. Hope you guys have this as well. CCL 12, CCL 1160. Tons of shares here. We're short, so a nice little trade. We're just cashing this out as we go. 1140, 1145 on the downside here. Beautiful trade. And what a great trade on Work. That was fantastic. All of a sudden, it's like bang, hundreds of dollars right there. You can take that for the long on Works. Great trade, making that cash as we continue to rip up here. We're only long, we're long 665, so it's at 85 now. Nice trade. And look at CCL. Who's got that one? We do, not us falling in a hole. CCL straight to the downside. Neil, this is getting elevated right here. This is how we trade on the show. This is why you tune in, guys. A nice little 20, 30, 40, 50 cent winner now on CCL. We're actually still short 12s, added at 1160.
Guys,
how we do
alert
it.
to AMC. I know we missed this one, guys. AMC on its lows. They're talking of bankruptcy here, so watch this $2 even level. That's the pre-market bottom. All-time lows down at these prices when you have a look at the daily. We did touch this level before and briefly tick below $2. So you're watching AMC get absolutely crushed, down 22%. Watch this level. Lots of buyers at 2. I'm going short when it breaks.
Yeah, I actually have to look at something else, but we're already quite... I know, our day's already done here. CCL, big time mover there. Crying baby if you're long, but if you're short, wow. A nice little trade. Look at these cashes out here. 1129 out here. What a great trade on CCL. I guess I got to look at something else, but wowzers. Big trade here on CCL. We gave that to you at the beginning of the day, and here it goes. Continues to go and works. We worked that stock nicely too, so everything so far 2 for 2. So there you go. Don't get slaughtered, guys. Big time day. Let's go.
Let's go right now over to another name that we gave you guys. We'll floss it off because we like to dance every now and then. It's going to be CanF. I talked about 2 even. If we had a failure for that price, I wanted to break. It does not break just yet, so we take off about a 10% win there. 222 to the short side. Our last shares off at 202. We're looking for that 2 even break. We're looking for a retracement back to 220. Either way, we're getting back short. BCRX, we still have our last quarter in there, about 20 cents in the money. So all 3 of these small cap plays working fantastically for us. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Looking at CCL, guys, also got to look at Norwegian here. NCLH down 13.5%. Look at the volume off the open. Monster volume spike here. Watch 1180, 1185 if we get a bounce up here for a re-entry, guys.
We just keep taking some off here. It keeps bouncing off 1140 here. We take some more off of CCL, but right now 17 pennies in the money on this one, and we're basically out of this works as it comes down to 630. So we'll fall out here about 20 cents or so on our last 10% of WORX, but we continue to hold the CCL. This is my biggest position, so we turn bearish on that one, and what a great run here we'd have on CCL. I have to look for something else.
John, I got to jump to the bank for a
go.
second here because JP Morgan just turned southbound here below break of 103. We just broke 102, so I just popped this one up. We're looking to see if it could trade above that double top that it had just made, you know, in that 104, 105. Forget about it. We're sliding southbound heavily. Looking at that 100 even as the next support level, you really don't have a heck of a lot other than that even dollar to play off of. So let's see what happens if we can base out on JP Morgan. The market itself is, you know, not really having too big of a move here when I look at the NASDAQ, but the ES has just dropped about 30 handles off that 2780 range, 2730. Let's see if we get down there. That could be a nice little base. I'm looking to take off the last of my BRCX position on a break of 250 here. You can just see this bid just got taken out, so we're now over 25 cents in the money. I'm going to go trailing up to about 20 cents even, not with a trailing stop, but just watching this one out of the corner of my eye. If it breaks above 255, I'm going to jump out, take the last 25 cent one. Otherwise, hanging on to this one. It was a 207 previous close. Let's see if we can't get back close to that.
And here we go, guys. CCL down to $11. That's a slap shot. That's a home run. We're huge. Okay, Facebook, we're also short. Look at these shorts on Facebook. Hit the siren, 173. We are already 25, 30 pennies in the money. We take a 174.40 short and a 174 even short. So right now our average price on Facebook, 174.20. You can see printing 173.90s and heading southbound. We told you we touched this one. And here we go. Another 20, 25 penny winner. Wow. CCL just keeps on tanking. What's up, Brendan?
Airlines getting crushed here at the open, guys. We had AAL and UAL just plummeting off of the open. This is saved. Little Spirit airline from $15.25 to $13 in a straight line there. Really weak for the airlines, guys.
Yeah, I mean, save certainly worth a look there, guys. Some people asking how we're making money when it's falling. We're just doing short sells here. So that basically means you borrow the stock. You then short it, you buy it back at hopefully a lower price. And I'm looking to do that in CTSO. We talked about that rollover at 920. It has now done that. It broke above this price, failed to get to the high of the day. Now we're going lower. So looking for a bit of consolidation around 9 even or a pop back into the 9 to 920 range and then work into a short to see if you can't retest that 8 even low. So that's the name of the game here in CTSO. It was the name you guys asked about that I didn't want to jump into right away. Now it's starting to roll over. We'll see if we can't get into a quick short here.
And guys, we punch Facebook in the face right now, guys. That's a quick 40 cents. We're out here in the 70s. Look at these shorts. Those of you that were asking about what we're doing, and maybe we're going a little too fast here. Any purple arrow down here is a short sell. So here on Facebook, you're seeing us, seeing me anyways, get short here 174.05, then average that into 174.40 and giving us now an average price of 174.42. And there it is. It's a 50-cent winner right now on Facebook, as that one just continues to go down. Let's see if there's some more downside in this name as we go. 45-cent winner right now in CCL. So that's a confetti as well. So right now, back-to-back jacks here. Big winner on CCL, guys. I can't explain that enough. And then Facebook right now with a 40-cent winner as well. So we're 3 for 3. All very big winners, guys. I hope you're on board with some of this. I may get out some of this Facebook with the market coming back in right now. We're going to watch out for this 174.50 level. I'll probably just drop it if it comes back to 174.50. But right now we're pretty big on this one. 45 cents on CCL, 45 cents on Facebook. Let's go, guys.
Speaking of moves back up here, futures bouncing off 27.50, and Apple here breaking through on the high. So just broke 269. I know you guys were mentioning that one. I just jumped into AMC, which broke below $2. So fresh on some all-time lows here in AMC. I just jumped into that short. So far, it's only been shorts for me, and they've all worked out. Adding AMC to that list. CTSO, you guys were mentioning, we just jumped into that one as well. This one is going to be a bigger range, guys. I think you got to let this one travel in the 9.20 range. You're looking for an out, maybe somewhere in front of 8 even. It did get as low as 20 cents in the money. I'm not looking for 20 cents because you got to risk too much more than that. So you can't jump out of this one too early, guys. AMC, if it breaks 2, I'm going to jump out of that one, but short here at 196. Having a quick look at that Apple trade, I think there's an opportunity here, but the market looked relatively weak. So I'm not playing that breakout. I mean, we're failing to get back to those highs. We're staying negative territory. I'm not playing a breakout long in Apple. I'm going to stick with the shorts till they're wrong.
Yeah, I like that strategy. Stick to the shorts till you're wrong, that's for sure. And we are not wrong here. We still have Facebook, guys. We're short 174.42, and that one's rocking and rolling, and then we're short right now CCL as well. I did cover a little bit of that CCL here in the 30s, so there was some, I don't know, I thought maybe we were resisting this 25 level, which it seems like we may be doing right now, 15 plus million shares on that one. Let's check back on XOM as I see oil's up another 3%, not another 3%. But up 3% today. I wanted that 45.50. I told you that would be Smash City, but right now we have come down. Oil now and XOM, not oil, but XOM now. Wow, can you the balance? There goes Facebook, guys. That's a $1 winner. So, hey, my wife, I know you're watching. Get that chicken ready. There's a chicken dinner winner coming for you right here. $1 on Facebook to the short side. 50 cents on CCL. This is how we do it, and a big winner on Works. Here comes Facebook, now more than $1. It's crashing, Neil. Facebook to the downside. Good call not going long Apple as this market now coming back down. There's $1 winner for you guys on Facebook. So we hate that Street Fighter style for you guys out there, and we go perfect on those shorts, guys.
Speaking of shorts, there Works here with some consolidation. I'm looking for 660 is the next level I'll play a short off of in this name. So jumping into it short right here at 636. 660 is the breakout point that I'm looking at. So we're not going to reverse long, but we are going to cover if we do get a break of that price. Another name just quickly here, guys. A couple people were asking about Square. A bit of a pullback. We fell through 60 even. $3 move to the downside on Square here. So I'm now looking to play to the short side this retracement. You're getting it in front of 59. It's about halfway back to that 60 even area. Nice little place, like I said. Playing the shorts until we are wrong. It's been a good look for the overall market. So jumping into Square here, working in front of this 59 area. But it's going to be an area stop, not a hard stop.
I mean, this has just been an amazing run. I hit the siren there. As now, Facebook, guys, floss it off. $1.50 now in the money goes Facebook. And look at these shorts, guys. Short here, 174. Short again if once it goes against us, against this 175 area, and now we're all the way down here. So big time winner obviously happening right now in CCL. You know what, let's just put our position board on. You can see them updating at the bottom, but here we go. We'll go again, and it's actually, let's see, it's not going to be right now, but we'll throw it on. I do not have this Works position, but we'll talk to this camera right here. CCL right now, 11.58 short, 49 cents in the money, and there's the Facebook one. So we do a little Ryu here. That's $1.90 now in the money. So 2 stocks on, 2 shorts. Neil's right. Let's just keep pounding the pavement on these shorts as the money just keeps getting made today, boys. Let's go.
And rolling over, you talked about Works there. I do have this Works short on. We just mentioned it, 636 to the source short side. It just broke 6 even, trying to fail through that $5 mark. This is where you'd like to be able to have it run down to. Just watch this little bounce off 6. You got to play your level. You got to make sure you stick to your stop. Square rolls in the money for us. Only about 20 cents right now, so that immediately working to the south side. Brennan, what do you got?
Some of the semiconductors, guys, showing a little bit of weakness, specifically NVIDIA here. Back to the downside, 0.8%. Came up to this 263.5 area from Friday and turned on a dime. We're just breaking this 261 support right now on NVIDIA from the pre-market, guys.
And there goes
we go,
Apple,
guys.
250.
I'm going to throw the disco ball on for you because it's one of these days for the shorts. If you're short, this is what it's all about. Do not reverse to the long until you're wrong here, guys. Just got 50 pennies on that square. First half of the trade on that nice little retracement. You don't have to catch the first move. There were so many things that you're watching here that maybe you jump in, you play that retracement play, find a level to work off of. Pre-market low area, about that 58.50 into 59. We short in that range. We already took half. Now we're playing with house money. So you can reload in front of 59, play that flush to the bottom if the futures want to continue to go. We're down 1% in the ES. We've fallen off about 30 handles. Not a huge move yet, but this is one of those things where they might be selling off that news after basically pricing in the deal. Now, they're not as ecstatic as we're expecting maybe in this market.
Yeah, thanks, Chicago there. Yeah, we're really happy with that call. And I was going to hit thanks on the chat for that one. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, huge call there on CCL, and welcome to the fun, and that just gets going. But the bigger call was, and I made more money on CCL because we smashed it, but there's a $2.38 winner right there on Facebook. So if you want the bigger winners, there it is right there. A nice little disco ball win for that Facebook as we cash it in. Obviously, that little out right there was bad, but we come all the way back down, rein in all the money now on Facebook as we still hold. Guys, CCL is still in the money, 50 cents. My best out, 11.05. Now we're holding 11.58, guys. We are still short up here, 11.98, then averaged in at 11.58, and ding, 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 ding. Big time winner here on CCL, and we'll just keep holding it. Our day, I mean, look, it can get bigger and better, and it will, but we're already quite huge today. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another name, guys, moving around here to the downside. This one actually halted on an additional information request in here. MITT, we had a bunch of those little mortgage REITs moving around last week. This is another one, went from $4 all the way down to $3.20 in a hurry there. A little bit of a retracement for MITT, guys.
MITT, whatever you want to call it. BCRX, we just took out at 250, so we grabbed this little short here, 275. You can see the 4 legs that we have out. You take some out, half out in front of the open there. You get the secondary flush where you're catching 20 and 25 pennies. That's that 10% move that we're usually looking for on some of these names here. I'll jump you guys over to CTSO, which looks like it's already starting to go. We grabbed that short on the way back down. We gave you the playbook here. That was a test of 920 as it had already made a pre-market move. Once it tests and failed, you're making that short when it breaks back down. You got some consolidation in front of 9 even. That's the short we took here at 879. It's working in the money for us at about 25 cents or so. You're looking for a test of 8 even. That's the ultimate play. Square just broke 58. So let's go with fireworks for this name. Again, when we talked about the pullback on Square, that was the trade that we're looking for. I don't usually like to hold these ones floor, that absolute bottom. I think we can get a high percentage win. You just want to go ahead and take it. So half off, we got for 50 cents. We'll take the second half off for about 75 to 80 if it bases out in this 57, 60 to 80 range.
Yeah, Square's been great. Square, we took $4 or $5 on Thursday or Friday when it went up to $64. Square is nuts. So I'm going to look at that one as well. I like it breaking through the top side, but obviously with these futures going down, good call on that one. Okay, I'm still looking at CCL. I see a lot of you guys asking, should you get into it now? No, I wouldn't. I would wait here until, we're really low on this downgrade. We're down now 10+%. If you guys look at a daily chart here on Square, you'll see what on CCL, you'll see what I'm talking about. It needs to break this $11. That's that bouncing spot. It wicked up here one day as well. If we break off, I'll move to my left. No problem there, boss. If you could see here, breaking through 11 right now could be something on CCL. So I would rather wait for that. Obviously, I'm 55 cents in the money, so easier for me to say than that. But we're going to wait to see what that wants to do. Tesla, still for me, one of those stocks that's hanging out upside right now. So I think I'm going to try to find maybe a long somewhere here in Tesla as we are still holding up. We did open up quite big, almost near 600, now fading back to 583. But Tesla holding on for dear life, still up 1.7% as the market is just and the market's headed down. But we've had a bunch of swishes on the short side. Where's my Facebook now anyways? Facebook's still where we got out of it. So let's see if Facebook can't break out of this little area, and we'll try to go long if it breaks above 173.
Speaking of strong stocks here, Zoom, believe it or not, actually a bit of a bounce here with the market heading down. Zoom goes up. It's been sort of heading the different direction from the market lately, but big move here, $6, $7 off of the open. Nice little retracement, however, in this name. So I think the weakness is about to come into Zoom. I'm not playing this one to the long side. The top of this little range was 129 in the pre-market. We trade and hold below that. I think you're joining the short party on Zoom. We do have another name to get to, guys. It's that CTSO. We're going to jump you guys back to this one. We have not added in works, unfortunately. I just missed an entry point that was a good one, but CTSO, if we can take out this 835 range here, we're going to get that flush to 8 even. That's our target out. You're looking for about that 10% move, so we're sitting at about 810, 805. That's the range I like to cover this CTSO position. That's one of our last shorts on. We still have that works at 636, having some trouble through 6 even. Can't seem to get through that one, but if it gets through 6, I think there's a nice chance you get that 580 mark that I was looking at.
And there goes CCL, and we say see ya to that one, because it just breaks through $11 there, goes down as low as 1094 before getting some steam back now to the upside. Remember, it is short sale restricted, so SSR is what that means, and that means you cannot go short now that it's down 10%. You'll have to take the short off the offer as it's now ripping back up just a little bit. We took a small amount there at 1102, waiting for that break. Didn't cash any out at 1095. So we're going to see how high this thing wants to go up, and then short anything here. Any of these pops should be a good short here on CCL, guys.
Yeah, and just you guys are asking about American Airlines down 7%. Look, there's a host of names that you could be short here, and it's not as if you can sit here and just blanket short everything unless you got a crazy basket order that just says short the market. You're getting a bit of a pop. This was a good play as well on the retrace to 12. That's basically when I took the square short. The same similar idea, and I think if you want to play the trend and continue this this short parade that we're having in the overall market, you're looking for pops into recent consolidation and then just sort of jumping into that party. So, whether for me it's been in Works and CTSO and Square, maybe you want to throw American Airlines into that. $12, I guess, would be that price that you're looking short in front of. Again, that's more of that little day trade, direct market access. You would be active to be trading some of these pops. If you miss that first move, it's already given you $2. So now you're scalping it a little bit more here on those pullbacks.
Yeah, and I'm trying to maybe get a little more short here, Carnival, if we can, in this 20 range. We'll see if it can get up that high. And then we'll get out around 26, 27, if that does happen. But for right now, we're just jamming with this only one position right now. Let's check out Aurora Cannabis. We know that one's going to be a reverse split right now, and it's actually not doing too much. Although it's 14 million shares, it isn't doing a whole hell of a lot here on Aurora Cannabis for right now. So we're going to wait to see. The bottom was 75 even. It's penny stock status. You can go over here and talk about it in Toronto. Should be around $1. There it is, $1.07. So Aurora not doing much, but we did want to check in on that one as it does have news, guys.
Yeah, and you go over to that Tesla, Sean, that TLSA that Brendan has talked about, holding the downside here, but just worth a look. 290 is the actual. This one's been coming in for a couple of sessions now. If you go back to Friday, if you want to see it break 3 even, that could be a nice level, but I would let it break 290 before I jumped into the shorts personally. So TLSA not on the radar. CTSO, we're holding on to this short. So if you guys are with us on this trade, my target is this little pre-market bottom here that we had in for about 820 or so. So, we shorted here at 879. You want to see it at least try to flush through that price. However, it did have a 25-cent range. I'm not going to let it retake 845 to the upside. This was that bottom end range that you missed out on the initial flush. So if it breaks back up out of this range, you want to make sure you cover those shorts. Otherwise, I'm looking for the bottom end here in about 50 to 60 cents.
Yeah, Delta coming screaming to the downside as well, DAL. As CCL right now not doing much. We're going to check back in on that one. Delta now making the same move to the top side here that CCL was making. We could take a long. I'd rather it get through a lot of this garbage. So our first long might be 23.30 or so. If we can get to that spot on Delta, we may look for a long. You got to get over some of this move. And, a lot of the stocks will head straight down, make a little stop, go again. Now we're trying to move back upside. So if Delta can get above 23.30, we'll look to short that, and we'll check back in on our Facebook after we see what Brendan's up to. What's up, bud?
Just watching AMC here, guys. We were talking borderline bankruptcy, or they're talking about possible bankruptcy at AMC Theaters. Coming back into this area where it failed in the pre-market, 240 to 250. Might be a little bit of resistance, but AMC bouncing might be a short, guys.
I've literally traded 7 stocks. AMC, which should be the weakest of all of them, was my only losing trade. Short at 96, and it broke back to 2 even. So we take the 5-cent hit there. And again, you got to have that little bit of a structure. You missed out on so much of it that you don't want to short that bottom and then hold it the entire way up. You got to have a stop. ICD, a couple of guys asking here, we just halted on ICD, up 60% on the session. So it looks like it's a volatility halt standard here. Only a couple of minutes it's been halted, so it'll open up in about 3 or so. And when it comes to the daily chart, not a heck of a lot to work off of, except for this maybe $13 area. So another parabolic move to the upside. You want to see if it retests that high from, I keep wanting to say Friday, but that'll be Thursday. So let's see what happens. If it opens above, I'm not necessarily longing it. I want this one to fail at 13 or below it, and then I'm jumping on the shorts and ICD, hopefully a halt on the downside. Brennan, what do you got?
Yeah, on that name, that ICD, looks like it's an additional information request here. 998 halt on ICD. Big volume spike came in there as well, so watch that ICD. That's an energy name, little tiny energy name. No other real significant news today on that name. Did have some news last week, but yeah, ICD halted, guys.
I strongly prefer whether it's just a simple volatility halt as opposed to news, so we'll keep tracking that one, but that trade might not be there as we expected. Works here, still short 636, but watching it slow down. It's trying to test this little bottom that made here at that 525 area, but that it can't seem to get that next leg to the downside. What I'm going to go ahead and do is trail this one, lock in 50 cents here. If it breaks back above about 580, we're going to cover this one. Otherwise, we're going to ride it down towards the bottom. But if it has this much trouble getting any lower, I don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. I'm short here at 636. So if it gives me 10%, there's nothing wrong with that. I think maybe there's a bigger trade in store. 10 million shares tells me there'll be ample opportunity to be able to get back into this one later if we have to. So, didn't make the move down to $5. We'll see if we can't lock in half of that on Works. Still short in CTSO, however. That one basing out at about 830. We're short 879, so that one working well for us. Every short that we've done has been fantastic, with the exception of AMC.
Yeah, and we're now into Tesla long here, 587, so hit the excitement there. Look, it's a 70-cent spread when it starts getting opened up here, so I tried to get more 85s. That didn't happen. It actually only went down as low as 585.60, as now we're getting elevated again to the upside as Tesla right now, a dollar winner plus $1.20 winner. We want more, obviously. Let's see if we can get into the 590 area, and then we'll dump half, and then we'll see if we can't run with Tesla more to the upside here. We're long 587.03, guys. It's at 590 right now. Let's go.
Yeah, and I think really
Boom!
This market here still heading to the south side. It's not a gigantic move, but it's a simple fact that we tried to test positive and absolutely failed. Bottom just got put in, and it's a higher low on Square, guys. So just watch out here. 57.50 off of a 57.20 low. So Square might be showing signs that it wants to move back to the upside. This is a name that initially I was thinking for some long opportunities and then jumped into short on a retrace. Now I'm actually thinking this could be one that if we get any kind of a bounce here at this 27.30, 27.40 on the ES, Square you could throw into that long trade. I haven't made a long yet. This could be one of the first ones we take.
And there we go, guys. Hit the cowbells right there. We take $3 on Tesla. That's our first half. Now we'll wait for more. This is how you get it, guys. Breaking through this VWAP right here. Tesla, we take that long, 587. It's at 591, 592. Right now, this is a $5 winner. So you guys know if you're trading, here we go. Breaking 592 to the upside. Wowzers, what a fantastic day this has been. The shorts have been great. Look at Tesla go, guys. We are running this one. You roll the dice. We're long 587 right now, guys. $6 in the money on Tesla. We'll probably take some of this out. Enjoy this move up in the futures, but we'll take $6 all day long on this one. I've already given you $250 or so on Facebook. Here's a $6 winner right now on Tesla. What up, Brendan?
Marathon, guys. Watch MRO. Oil continuing to bounce here. We're coming back to this 450 area that was resistance up here in the pre-market. Nice move off the lows here for an MRO. Volume behind this as well, guys.
All right,
so we're going to be all done, and we'll go with, I don't know, we'll catapult this one just because we don't use that one very often. CTSO, we talked about the reason why we wanted to wait on this one. Some of you guys were looking at it in the pre-market. I said, hell no, we won't go until it opens up and tests 920. It tests 920 and failed. Thank you very much, Valeria. We just got to refund
wow,
our
it's coffee time.
there. Test 920, fails through that price. We jump on the short at 879. We take it out in front of that bottom here, and it was a double bottom made in the pre-market at about 815, 820. We just got it out here at 828 on a nice little bounce. So quick 60-cent win on this $8 stock. The story's not done with CTSO. Watch for a break of that 815. Watch for a retest, possibly lower than that 920 at about 9 even. So I think a lot of these names are going to be fantastic for the rest of the session. Works just worked out for us. But unfortunately, I talked about why I was going to trail this one. We trail it for that 50-cent win, and then whenever I use the trailing stop on these smaller names, it feels like that's the wrong decision, guys. So we trail out and managed to get, it was a good win, 10% move there. However, it is going to test that bottom around 5 even. 550 we're trading at right now. I am looking back over at Square, showing a little bit of strength here, trying to hold above that low. So Square could be the first long, but we're not quite at that point yet, Sean.
Yeah, I'm just tweeting this out, guys. Follow us on Twitter at TraderTV Sean. Look at this out on Tesla. I just got to make sure I don't have any orders here to get me out if I need to. Look at this. We go long 587. Bang, half of it out. $3 winner. The next half out here 592.79. So that's a nice little $6 winner. So we go $3, then we go $6. That's a big winner. So we're going to floss that off. The two biggest winners here so far for me today was this Facebook short. As you guys can see, wow, that was a cash for sure. Short rate here, 174.50. Out down here, 172 and change. Ooh, Facebook break down a little bit. And then the best trade, though, actually, my Tesla just took over my CCL. But here we go. CCL short at 12, short at 11.50. Ding, 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 ding. We are now short again. We're short right now, 11.23, but it's a very, very small position. We are at the highest spot today for our nets as we go perfect so far today. The only trade we did screw up was trying to short this CCL here, but let's see if that story hopefully has not done and written yet. I want to thank Valeria for the refill in the coffee. Hey, what's up, Randy? How's it going, everybody?
In the house. Quickly bouncing here, Oxy. If you're looking for something that actually showed a tiny bit of strength, look at this pullback all the way back to our open price here. Almost to our open price at 16 even. So, you know, XOM, Oxy, the energy space, sort of leading the way in terms of positivity. They're still up 2%. Oh man, this is a trade that just screams fade to me here. So you can work in front of the pre-market low at 15.90 and jump into this short here in Oxy. I prefer usually going in the long in the energy space in your Chevrons and your XOMs, and then trying to short something like an Occidental. Although, you know, our Uncle Carl may not love me too much for that short. We'll try it here. 15.90 to 16 even is going to be our short. Quick little out though. You've got to make sure you have a stop on this one because it's been relatively strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna wait to go long XOM. 40. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be right here. 43. Yeah, it needs to get going a little bit as I look at different charts here. And welcome. I think we're at the 600 club now. So welcome. Oh, we're at 599 as from what I can see.
Oh,
so
no, wait,
one more viewer.
I literally hit the confetti there because you said 600.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's good enough.
We'll be there in
600
a
club.
second.
Smash that like. Smash subscribe. We're a little late to the game here on YouTube, but we're on YouTube, so hit us up, guys. Check it out. I saw Joseph hit up some of our educational videos on the weekend. Good job, guys. Good job, Joseph. There's lots of content on that. We're doing the show for free, so hit that like, hit the subscribe button, guys. We're back every single day giving you the winners. I'm taking a coffee now. I've been abundantly profitable so far today, so we're going to celebrate with a little sip of coffee here. You can check our profits at the bottom, guys. Those aren't lies, and all our trades happening real time and in live. Oh, here goes XOM. We're going to wait for that one. 43.50, guys. I got to put my coffee down.
Yeah, immediately heading to the south side here, that Oxy. We're in the money about 10 cents on that little rollover. Again, just watch it fail on any kind of a level test here. That's basically going to be that 15.85 to 90 in front of that opening price. So immediately getting a nice opportunity here in Occidental. I think you can certainly scalp a little bit of this and then work the second half of the trade down into VWAP. That's what we're going to go ahead and do. But it's also 10 o'clock. We got our coffees locked and loaded and ready to go. The next thing on tap is going to be our good friend Brendan Wickens with Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's get a look at North American markets still in negative territory, unfortunately. A bit of a red look to start the week here. The S&P 500, about 1.3% there. The Dow, 1.3% as well. Look at tech stocks, though, not as bad here. So some of the big tech names trying to lead. We noted Apple did show some strength off the open, reversed on a dime, though, and was pushing towards the pre-market lows last I checked. Russell here, small caps are negative as well, about 2% to the downside. Here in Toronto, the TSX 1.27% to the downside. Banks very weak here in Toronto today. I'll show you a couple of those in a second. The BOVESPA in Brazil open as well, down about 1%. Let's shift over and have a look at some individual names. If you just click on the bottom, there we go, and then Windows Control, and then the right. There we go. ACB, Sean mentioned ACB to the downside here, 9.8% in negative territory, held 104 at the bottom, 1 for 12 stock split for ACB. Let's shift over again here and have a look at TD. Yeah, big time weakness coming in some of the Canadian banks. Got as high as 60.50 at the open, but look at this move all the way down to 59.10 for TD. RY, if we shift over one more, there we go, same thing. 88.20 all the way down to below 87 now for RY. So banks are weak, cannabis is weak, some of the energy names trying to offset that here in Toronto, guys, but overall, pretty red start to a Monday. Back over to you.
Thanks a lot there, Brendan. As breaking back to the upside is that market here. So bouncing off of 27.35-ish on the ES a couple of times and then trying to work back above 27.50. We were looking at some long possibilities earlier. One of them was a potentially square if it could hold the bottom. It was running into some trouble heading back down below this higher low that it put in. But now looking at least a little bit stronger for the time being. I think if you can work at something in front of between 57.50, and 58, this little break here, that might be your opportunity for a long, but you can't let it take out the low. That's going to be way too dangerous for me. But I'm going to jump over too quickly before we look to get into that trade. I want to jump back to Works. I know you guys were following this stock. It just failed to get back above 6 even, so this one's still looking like it wants to head southbound for the time being. Might jump into short again on Works after covering for a 50-cent win. We're going to look to see if we can't catch another one here in front of 6, but tight stop. So we're looking at a 590 trade, 6 even stop, looking to retest that bottom here at 540.
Works, yeah, Works, one of my top stocks today as well. We don't have any negative stocks today on the board, so I hope you guys are seeing that on the bottom. So jinx myself right there, but we're going to wait to see. XOM off oil. Oil now moving. Those of you talking about oil here, I'll pull up the oil chart. Here we go, guys. Oil now up. A nice little 5+%. Hard to see that percentage on this oil chart, but we're bouncing off 25 right now, straight to the top side there. So we're going to have a, damn it, Tesla. We got out of Tesla 593. Sorry about that, guys. Only gave you $6 there. Should be 10. Here we go. Oil, look at it to break $24. I'm going to look at XOM on the equity side of things. I know Neil has Oxy there. I haven't actually looked at that, so I'll check if I can swing my oil chart over here. We'll check out. Let's see what XOM is doing. That's a name that I'm going to try to get in when I told you guys, yeah, it's getting close to that level. 43.80 or so is when I will start executing in on ExxonMobil, guys.
Guys, watch out for Can F here. Just broke back to the upside. We got almost the bottom here, so I'll call it perfect. The bottom was actually 197. We took out 201, but it's retesting the top, guys. 240 was that initial level we were looking at. It just looked like it tried to take it out. We went long on a 235, trying to fade in front of it, but it rejected hard at that 240, so we quickly snapped out of that trade. Already back down to 225, so saved yourself a bit of money there. But now I'm even liking that 240 break even more now that it just rejected it so hard. So keep an eye on 240 on Can F. It just came off 20 pennies, so 10% move in a minute off of that level. Should be a good break. The top is 290, so lots of opportunity if you catch that break. UAL, you guys are asking about the airlines there. We've looked at AAL, but United as well. Going to be a big one here. I'm going to add that to the list there, Greg. I know you're watching a bit of a long trade. I'm also looking at that square. It's now in my target range to try that long, 57.50 to 58.
Yes. Oh yeah. Square looking real nice right now. That's a consolidation that we love all day on Square. Let's check out some Virgin Galactic here, SPCE on the New York Stock Exchange. They took that symbol over. Nice little name there. And I just want to notice that it was going to try to break here this 1535. If it does that, we'll probably take a long here on SPCE 1540. Yeah, we're still up. We're breaking it. Okay, so 1540. Yeah, good little long here. If we can get above 1540, let's take a long in SPCE. That's Virgin Galactic. It's 10:07. We have some decent guests coming through today. Obviously, you guys know him from last week. Sean Shirzadi from Flemington Food Bank will come and talk about how that's been doing. Trader TV Live donating $1,500 a week. So where's some cash? I'll try to throw some cash around for that. There's a good cause there for you. So rolling over some of these profits back in. But right now, Space and Virgin Galactic looking to take out 1530. As oil moving to the downside now, we'll have a look probably to see about shorting XOM off that 1580.
Yeah, and I just jumped into that square. I talked about looking for that little base. A couple of things you can do here, and I just did both of them, which is work into the middle of that target range. I talked about that 57.50 to 58, so I jump into some shares at 80. It then breaks 58 even, so we add through the break of 58. So you end up with an average price 57.90. Looking to take some out here around VWAP for 50 cents. Again, that's a nice scalp on a square. Otherwise, you're looking to hold the rest. If we break back up here, and the futures retest positive, you should get a run to 60 on Square, at least close to it. So you want to make sure you have some exposure, even though it's a fantastic scalp opportunity to take that VWAP retracement trade. And I will do both. We'll take the VWAP retrace, and then we'll also look for the extended move to the upside. So Square working short. Now it's looking like it's going to work to the long side. You got to go both ways, baby, when these markets are moving.
Yeah, to say the least. I'm going to wait for Square to get above 59. So, yeah, go long now. It's a great little trade there. The one trade that we didn't have, it'll be coming back later with the trade of the day, but this Tesla trade, wow. 602 and still running. So, yeah, left something on the table there. I wish I would have only got out third, but instead we go half there. Tesla, just to give you guys an update. Wow, is that one moving? We pop a wheelie, celebrate this great trade down here, but wow, Tesla now 5+%. I was actually lucky to pick some up of this one in my own account in the 400s. Wow, great buy that was. Ready for Brendan. What's up, bud?
Damn, 5% on Tesla. Wow, nice move. SM Energy, guys, another little energy stock moving to the upside. Broke $2 here on a huge volume spike and hasn't looked back right through to 235. If you like the lower priced ones, decent volume, decent liquidity, SM Energy, guys.
SM we'll definitely look. I haven't seen anything on that ICD yet. When we do, we'll definitely get that to you if you guys are paying attention to that name at all. But I love the volume on SM, certainly. It's already given a break. And again, whenever I've missed this sort of breakout opening range or pre-market breakout trade, I'm usually looking to fade it. I mean, I can't even lie about that. I actually would love to see this one halt, get a more parabolic move, and then look to trade it to the downside. That just hasn't happened yet. So you're probably looking at the daily chart and saying to yourself, okay, well, it's going to probably have some trouble here at 35. If it rejects this price, because of this level on the daily, that'll be my first step to trade this one on a rollover. I'm going to quickly jump back over to Square because we talked about why. We'll roll the money off here. It was a VWAP retracement play in addition to hopefully making a bit of a bottom on Square. So we jump in a couple of times here. I did just take half out at VWAP. You're looking for the extended move on the second half. Let's run this one up to 59, see if we can't catch a quick dollar winner on Square. The market hasn't even bounced very far here. It's only about 8 to 10 handles or so off with a low, and you're getting a nice bounce on Square. So we talked about this one making a firm bottom and then jumping into the long side. So Square, I'm looking for more longs in case the market bounces. It's been a short party, finally getting something to the upside.
Yeah, it's been just such a huge day here. We're looking for more. Yeah, one of my best stocks. I see you guys talking about Works. We absolutely destroyed Works today. What we did was just the generic play here. You hit it off the open once it breaks. Our best out, $7 even. It does go as high, guys, as I'll move this over here. I'll move it over here. It does go as high as $7.20. We missed that, but now Works exploding to the upside here off of this 540. Ding, 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 ding. Straight jack. cracks to the upside. So we're going to look, where is this? I mean, now it's fading back down, but I was going to say maybe if you take 660 again, you can see if it wants to do this little dance up here, but Works, again, very, very positive stock today, and we hit the bullseye on that one. Straight in, straight out. We were holding 10%, and so we got all the way out down there, but Works to the moon. One of my best stocks today. I hope you guys are on this one as well. I haven't touched it since the open. It's not really my style. We'll look at bigger names to see what's going on, but Works, guys, thanks for bringing that one up. If it does break any key levels, I'll be back. Disney, that one's been kind of sleepy here, starting 105 and making a nice little move down. We're going to wait to see if this market pulls back. Disney, a $100 break would be pretty sweet to the downside, guys. Nice short on JPM for Boris. We'll talk about that when we get back from Brendan rocking the screen, and it's upgrades and downgrades. Ooh, one of my favorites. Let's go.
Hey guys, yeah, we've already talked about a few of these names, but we'll have a look at a number of stocks that were upgraded and downgraded. I want to mention this one right off the bat. Applied Materials here, negative, even with a couple of upgrades. So aim at a bad look there, 1.6% to the downside. Alibaba, Square, and Ulta Beauty also in negative territory, even with a couple of upgrades today. ULTA, big high price stock, but worth a look. That is the wrong screen, guys. Dell, another one that was higher, even with an upgrade today, but coming back to the downside. There was a few other ones that were moving around in the pre-market, and that is still Sean's screen. There we go. KB Homes, guys, 7.75%, the leader to the downside today as far as downgrades. Micron and Lennar, so a couple of home builders on that side of the screen so far. Let's shift over and have a look at ULTA. Big flush out from 205 down to 198 here. Kind of held 198, 197 as support. Consolidating, though, underneath 200. So definitely showing some weakness there for ULTA. The other one, Micron, mentioned NVIDIA before. Micron, another one. Look at this sell-off that this had. This was Friday, or Thursday, I should say, Thursday afternoon, heading into the weekend. We open around this same area and still kind of consolidating. This is 45 for Micron, so a big time level for MU, down about 2% on the day, guys. Back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Brendan. A couple of you guys mentioning oil here. Big drop off. You're about 50 cents off of the top, 24 even. So watch some of these names. I'm looking over at Oxy, trading in that 15.70 range, so rejecting off 16 even. If we make any kind of a base here, certainly when I was mentioning what I like to go long in, it's either your Chevrons or your XOMs, just expressing long trades. I think if we can make a bottom, well, not a bottom, but make a bit of a level here at 23.50 and then continue to work back up, that's where you're going to want to jump into some of these names to the long side. So whether that's a 16 break on Oxy, you're actually looking for XOM just on a trend strength. I like either of those possibilities, but oil is the play here, and you got to watch that market very closely. Works, I just typed in the chat, 660 I would have liked as a break to the upside, and this is the reason why. A couple of tests at that level since the open, and it just recently failed, so keep your eyeballs on that. I've thrown a stop order just to make sure that I don't miss it. It'll trigger in if we get a break of 660 on Works. I will end up in a long trade. The short might not be done with it, but up 165%, thinly traded. Even if it's just a scalp of 40, 50 cents, which I think you can get, we're going to jump into Works if we get a 660 break.
We're going to see what happens right now with this MU, because I just went short there. Brendan mentioned about it, big level at 45. Do agree here. We are down 1.9%, but right now we're short 16s. So we take that 15 short, we take some 19s as well. So we're going to see what MU wants to do, but we are short that name against the futures. Little move up here, but now we're starting to drop down. So if these futures can come back down and retest days low, then yeah, I do like this short. Maybe it's a little more aggressive to the long side than I thought here. I was expecting this one to fade even just a little bit more than it already is. The futures are coming back down, and MU, Brennan, is hanging out topside. So maybe I'll have to look at one more. You talked about NVIDIA. Anyways, we're going to use this 38.39 as an out if we need it on MU. But NVIDIA, did I short the wrong one? And yeah, it looks like maybe might have shorted the wrong one. We could have had 263s there. This is now down 80 cents. So hopefully Micron will follow its friend in NVIDIA, moving to the downside right now. As this market's crashing down, I did want to look at Square. I assume that's not near 59 yet. That's pulling back just a little bit. Square might be a good long if you can get back into 57.50 range, guys.
Yeah, I was just about to jump to that myself. This is why I take some off at VWAP here, because you're looking at if it rejects through that price, and again, it had a bit of a rejection on a pullback first in front of 59. If it rejects lower, you want to make sure you took some profits, and then if you really like the long, you can jump back in at an even better price than you initially took. So this is why you can cycle in and out and be flexible with your trades and not just think all or nothing, 100% in, 100% out. I don't necessarily love that approach, but if the market's coming through the bottom, I was just looking at Zoom as well, still up 4%. But look at this consolidation around $1.30. This one breaks down below this 129. I'm liking this to the short side. Zoom's been getting beaten up, of course, over those security concerns. If the market wants to make fresh lows, Zoom's going to look like it's going to give back some of these profits that traders had bought on Thursday, I guess I should say, would have made. So I'm looking at 129 as a breakdown on Zoom.
Yeah, I'm just going to refresh some stuff here as we look. I'm still disappointed in Micron. We are short 16s. It's at 16 right now, 15, 14. I'm waiting to hopefully get out some down here. We'll take some out at 10 because I have no idea what's going on. Remember, we're trading on a retail platform. Come on, let's go, Micron. We held you all the way almost to 30 there. We didn't get the red short. Bang, there it is. Nice little 7-8 penny winner now on Micron, turning our frown upside down. And I was going to say we almost there. We dodged a bullet. I don't know if I can find that one, but we'll hit the cowbell anyways, because here's another winner, just a 10-cent winner for you now coming down, and bang, even more. See ya, Micron. Look at this. Tick, 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 tick. Boom. So there's another slap shot for you once again, guys. We're short 17. My hat's off to you, Brendan. Nice little call there, bringing Micron to my attention. Did have to hold it 20 pennies or so, but Micron coming down, breaking through 45. There's that key level that we talked about. Who's got this trade? This guy, two thumbs. Which way do I have to go for that? But here we go. We're breaking down below 45. Welcome to the show. Hope you're having fun, guys. I know I sure am. Bang, 20 pennies now on Micron. The fun continues on the show. Trader TV Live, guys.
Quick rollover here on Works. It just broke that 660 and then tried to get up to 680. So I talked about this one. It's going to be a scalp trade to the long side, but if it fails, you got to jump back in on that selling action. So I have reversed over here in Works. 653 is going to be the short. You use that previous high. Now it's 680 or so as you're out. I'm getting into very close to Zoom here, guys. It looks like it wants to take this 129, but if the futures want to go, I'm going to have to fade this trade here, and right now in front of VWAP. So we will take some of this Zoom in front of VWAP here. I am still going to add to this position on a break of 129, but I want to jump in, make sure we capture the short as the market is coming down. It's all about the short trade all morning long, and we're going to jump into Zoom as well.
Yeah, probably. I was saying probably because I shaved, we have 600 viewers now. Okay, guys. Yeah, I hope everyone had a great Easter as well, and welcome to you and your family. If your family is sitting there, turn it on, cast this YouTube channel to your big screen and let everybody watch the show. It's an entertaining show. If you guys have any questions or comments, concerns, let us know. We do mention when we open and close trades. I see that on our little chat there. We talked about, I gave you this Micron trade, guys. Play-by-play analysis. I gave it to you. I even gave this Micron trade against myself. So if you guys did want this, remember we're on about, I think, Rob, we're on about like what, a 5 to 7 second delay or so on YouTube. So there is going to be that as a problem. But here we go. And I am closing them out just so you guys wanted to see on here. All the greens are all our buys. So anytime we go long or we cover a short, you'll see that on our green little notes here. These little ticks down that tend to be purple are sells. So that's one here. I'll show you here on Works, for example, as I can bring this one down. Hopefully I have some, actually no, I didn't short sell on Works, and now my chart is not working, but the red arrow down are the sells. So the green will always be our buys and the reds will be our sells, guys. I got to flip my chart here.
Yeah, I hope you guys got that quick little move there in Zoom. I had to chase it 1, 2, and 3 times and only caught it on the pullback here, but that's absolutely fine. We'll certainly be happy with the entry point that we got. It was still close enough to that 129 to count, 128.85. I did try to get it at 30s, which is right when we were talking about it, but the spread it was about 30, 40 cent spread at times, making it tricky to get in, and I haven't done it yet. I'm going to quickly update you guys by throwing my position board on. A couple of shorts. We just talked about Zoom here, 128.85. I am adding to that one if I can in front of VWAP. Also short over there in Worth, reversing to the short. At 653, guys. That's going to be a big one, hopefully. If we can hold below 680, we really like that second short that we've done. But it's also 1020. And when it's 1020, we got to throw to Brendan for a small cap recap.
All right, yeah, 1020, guys. Let's have a look at small cap world. A number of these giving you opportunities this morning, so I want to get right to it here. CanF didn't get to this one in the pre-market, but another one that was gapping to the upside, kind of giving you that fade type of idea. Still up 47%, so it was significantly more. I'm just working both sides of the range at this point. I mean, really hasn't done much. Drew the line down here at $2. I'll actually like this a lot better if we get below $2 and start to consolidate. But every kind of pop to the upside, back to 240, 250 up here, that was support that broke early on in the pre-market. Every kind of pop up into that range, just working the short back down to $2. So a nice little move. 20, 25 cent scalps, depending on where you catch it, do add up over time. So not a huge exciting mover, but worth a look at CanF. This one was a nice trade today. BCRX 18% still to the upside. This is 285 up here. We held below 285 a couple of times in the pre-market, gave you all kinds of opportunity to work into a decent sized position if you had borrows available. Nice washout from 280. We're down here at 240 now, consolidating. Watch this consolidation here. Might break this level down here is $2. So if this 240 does let go, we got a long way to go still, down to $2 for BCRX. I mentioned one right before the open this morning at 925, this TLSA. We're talking about 235, 240, just resistance from Friday afternoon, right? Hasn't done much, just consolidating in this range around 320. We'll give that one all the way up to 340. That's a look at some small caps. Back over to Neil.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually watching TLSA for sort of the same reasons you are. I haven't made an execution on it yet. Works took out 680, so we'll take that trade off. I'm not hanging into that one until it maybe retests the high. I'll jump back over to Zoom here. We did get that entry, and again, it's going to be on the pullback, not on the way down, but still at 128.85, you almost can't go wrong. It's now about 80 cents in the money, testing this 128 area. It did flush to 127.50, where we're trying to get out. Just sort of didn't trade through me, but bouncing off of that 127.50 area as the market continues to slide to the south side here. We're down about 1.8% and continuing to slide. And it's all about those shorts ultimately. The long trades, there's been a couple, and Square was one of these that did work for me, but now you're going back into the shorts. So Zoom was my last position that we have on. We're looking for about $1.25 on this one. We're sitting here on the bid at 128, 127.50. Next leg to the downside would be 126. I'm shorting this one again. If we pop back up to VWAP, that'll be another add-on on Zoom. But for now, just looking for the quick $1.25, and then see if we can't get a bit of a reload. I'll jump you guys back over to another name that we're sort of following along here, and that's going to be the energy space. And because XOM, I wanted to have a long trade in this one, just hasn't happened yet. I mean, ultimately, it did try to test through 44 even. It's now heading back down southbound with the rest of the market towards its lows. There is some relative strength right now in XOM, still up, down 0.8%, just a bit better than the market overall. I'd love to see it hold its bottom, but I need to see oil hold its lows as well before jumping into any longs in that space.
Yeah, I was looking at XOM myself and unable to get into anything right now. But I was just talking about MU. Touches VWAP there and now comes right back. So we're going to get out of some of this right here ahead of that VWAP. The VWAP's at 87 or so. So you guys know, man, we're short 45.19 all the way up here. I tried to get 29s and missed. It went as high as... Oh, it says it went as high. Oh, no, went as high right there is 27. There it is. A nice little out at 92. So flossing that one off. We still go, where's my knock on wood? We still go perfect today. But we are located here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where we are still social distancing. Valeria's here. She'll be on screen soon as well. So hit your likes. Welcome to the 600 Club. You guys are now part of that one. So we need to get now 6,000 subscribers. We should be doing that very shortly. But there goes MU back down below this little VWAP. 44.80 would be a nice little spot for me. I'd like to get the rest out here into the 70s. Once again, just another 25-cent winner. What's up, Brendan?
ICD, guys, we mentioned this one before. It did halt on news pending. Still not seeing any news on this thing, but coming back in a hurry. Volume accelerating to the downside, so maybe no one else is seeing news on this either. But ICD being faded hard here, guys. $12.50 at the top. We started the morning in the pre-market down around $8 for ICD, guys.
Like, come on,
SM here just tested the high, guys. You see a parabolic move to the upside of 34%. It just tested through its previous high at 243 and then flushed back down. Look at this little wick here. I just grabbed it on the way back in at 39. So in front of this fresh top, I'll look at 245 as a quick little out. I love these little retests of the top and then see if you can't get that retracement play. So 39, we're only risking about 6 to 10 cents depending on what slippage works out to. But otherwise, we're headed back down to VWAP as our target. And that's what it's all about. This is a structure we mentioned a couple of times on these ones that have moved to the upside. You can just quickly also scalp off half for 10 cents or halfway down on that retracement. I like that idea as well. That's what we're going to do here in SM. Good look. I saw it was just Alex there in the chat talking about it at the exact same time as I saw the same move.
Yeah, thanks, Mahish there. I'm a legend. I don't know about that, but I'll hit thanks. If we're going to be a legend, it's just starting. So get ready to see more and more as we go. Look at Works, though, guys. I cannot believe this happens now, and we just talked about that, but that's trading. You're going to miss some of these trades. There's that 660 break early. We get it. We go out at 7, but then now, bang, just rips up to the upside, gapping up here. I don't think there was a halt there at all. Just a gap straight up to 780. So yes, that stock getting accelerated. Look at the level 2 on that one. Works just going nuts there. That one could have been the trade of the day early if that would have continued, but unfortunately we had to get out here as it breaks back down below 650 and we get out. But Works still one of my top stocks, so we throw the cash around on this one, but we would have been monstrous. The legend would have been growing there, guys, if we still had this $7, this 660 break. But unfortunately, womp womp, we do not. So we'll hit a little crying baby. But those of you that were watching Works, there it is, guys. Fireworks everywhere on this stock.
Lots of fireworks all over the place in these markets, and I'm going to jump over to just have a quick look at Virgin Galactic, and this is a name that's usually been in play. But oddly enough, it's putting in a higher low right now. So the market just crashed, and bit of a muted range over here in Virgin. I think it's going to provide you with at least a little bit of an opportunity on any kind of a base if the futures hold back around this 2730 area. We mentioned a couple of times on the ES. I think Virgin in front of 15 is going to be a nice little interesting long. Very similar to what we were doing over there in Square. So I would jump and have a quick look at that if you get the opportunity. Zoom. Looks like it might give us that initial reentry that we liked in front of that VWAP. So you talk about this 130 area. Now it's trying to bounce back. The market's trying to bounce back to the upside. You'll get some of those entry points that you might have been looking for a little bit earlier that you couldn't get. So Zoom, we just tagged in on that name as well. We're going to jump to Uber in just a quick second here, but I also want to get back to our good friend, not Tesla, TLSA, and that's Brendan's friend. Watch out. It just put in a nice little bottom at 3 even. 330, if there's a break to the upside, that's going to be the price that you want to watch on TLSA. So watch 330 on a break.
Yeah, shout out to my kids apparently behaving really well today. I think it has something to do with that new Splatoon download they got. So we're going to find out about that. I keep being told to move over. I guess I'm moving over too much. Okay, Micron right here. And look, I took a very, very small short. About to go long, though, on Micron. There we are. So now we go long on Micron at the top here. We're going to wait to see what this can do. I like this name going long side here. The market's still red, but Micron, for some reason, just goes doot, 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 all the way back up. So let's take a long here on Micron, see if we can't build it and kind of protect down here. 45.15 might be our kill spot on this long. We're light for now. I like to smash this thing if we go above 45.50, but right now we'll take the long. 45.38 now on Micron, seeing if we can't make up some of this. I mean, we made a lot of money on the Micron short, but we're going to see if we can't make just as much here going long. And here's the name, MU, still up. Sorry, down 1.62%, making to look new highs here. Here it goes. We're long right now, 38. Let's see if we can't get into 48 at least. We'll dump some of these before 50 and then go even longer then, as the futures right now, though, turning around. Boo.
And I'm going to show you guys, and we talked about this square position, how we got out of it on a trail break even at 58 here. You're going to see it roll over, and now 58 turning into a bit of resistance. So the market looking like it wants to retest some bottoms here. Square going from something that initially was a short that we had for a winner. We then work into the long position. It fails at the same price that we tried to enter that short, and basically a range bound at the low on Square for the time being. But it just goes to show when you identify that range in some key prices, you're able to profit in either direction without it even moving. And I think that's the key point here on a Square. You don't actually have to get a move to $60, profit on the short trade 50 pennies, and then another 50 pennies on the long side. So we're working both ends of that trade. Zoom we have short at 129. Even is basically our price, so you can see that flash. We only risk about $1 to VWAP on that one. SM, I did talk about this one. We are still working into this short. This is exactly what you want to see when you're shorting one of these moves to the upside. You love to see it put in a lower high and then consolidate before a flush. And again, half our target, halfway to VWAP. Second half in front of this consolidation here. That's the structure of the trade. We gave it to you. You had ample time to be able to work into this position. You didn't have to get the perfect entry that we had here at 239. You could have just taken it at 235. We'll just take a little bit off out here at 229 for a quick 10 cents. Second half, you're looking at a VWAP retrace. Otherwise, breakout at 245. That's the high.
And guys, here's another winner. We just talked about Micron. Yeah, I don't know. Look at this long. 45.38, and again, gave this one directly to you guys. 18 pennies we just took out on this one. 45.38 long, and bang, cash time. So there we go, hit the register. We're ringing that in. We're gonna see if we can't get higher and higher and higher on Micron. We noticed that was a strong stock. We'll see, guys. We closed on Thursday, 46.24. We'll see what it can do here, but we are long 38s right now. You can see off this little break, cashed out about 50% of our position. Now we'll wait to see what's higher. And again, we're just scalping, man. This retail platform, we get paid to trade. So we're gonna go up, up and away. Hopefully 45.60 can come through. We'll average in, man. If the futures want to keep dropping, we'll average in. We'll average in, like I said, to about this 45.15 spot. I actually want this to fall back down. Let's see if we can't get reloaded. And does anybody know, there's the reloaded. Let us know if you didn't answer on Thursday, which movie that's from. I'll hit it again. Here it comes. Let us know. Post on the chat. First person to get that right can get this faded tradertv.live mug, okay? And I won't be shipping it to you, but maybe you can eventually get it, guys. Here we go.
Heavily used because we drink a lot of coffee around here, and that's so we can keep up with these wild markets. We'll jump to Save, of course. Brennan mentioning this one and bringing it back to our attention in addition to some of the other airlines here. Nice consolidation, 13 even. Look at this level at 13. It broke it once and tried to flush to 1240. Failing to get to that price, but if it breaks down, break out lower through 13, even if the market continues to fall. But then look at this tight consolidation here, 1350. So I'm going to bracket Save here. 13 break, we're going short. 1350, we're going long. I love these movers when they give you these long consolidations and the market's making a bit of a base. It will not hold this range forever. That's why we're going to jump into the short on a 13 even break in Save.
So short and long, we're going to tweet out this MU chart. And again, this could be the trade of the day as well, guys. But we go short here, 45.20, cash, cash, cash. Then we go long and cash in again. And there it is right there. Oh, James, I see you right there getting it. We do have some Scarface calls, but you are right, James. And there it goes. James Ponce, explode the money for you. You win nothing, but it is Carlito's Way. So congratulations to anybody, and if you don't know that movie, definitely check it out here as you are on quarantine time. It's a good movie to watch, and hopefully that doesn't last for too long, this quarantine. But if it does, check out all the Al Pacino movies. They all are fantastic, especially with De Niro. We are ready at the big board, it looks like, for our question of the hour. Valeria?
Hey guys, welcome to the live trading show. For those who just joined us, I remind you that Neil and Sean have combined experience in day trading of more than 30 years. Brandon has the latest news from the world of finance, and of course me, always on the chat, finding out how you're doing and taking your questions. Well guys, as I tell you earlier today, we're gonna choose the best question of the hour each day, and I'll be reading it out loud to guys so you can get a more detailed answer. Don't worry, we'll be doing that every day, and if today we're not choosing your question, you still have tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Well, our viewer with the nick CD Davis 333 is asking you, Neil and Sean, what measurements do you use to determine your pre-market positions?
That's a fantastic question. The first few things I'm looking at for any pre-market position is I want to see volume, volatility, and then levels that I can work off of. And, we can talk a little bit about, I'll let Sean talk about CCL. I'll jump into something like a small cap here just to give you a different bit of an angle. A BCRX. You had a name which was up significantly. It was gapping to the upside. You go to the daily chart here. You quickly see it making a breakout through 215 all the way to 3 on a day like today. I'm looking to see if there's any consolidation. First of all, is there a price range I can work off of? It's got $3 at the top and plus about 317. It's got a bottom here that it had made 50, 60 cents lower. So that's a lot of volatility. 20 to 25% move from the top to bottom in the pre-market. I want to make sure it's going to be scalable so that you can work in and out of some of those shares. So I need to see on a cheap name, I want to see at least a few 100,000 shares pre-market. If you're around 830 or so, that's going to be my minimum. There has to be a level I can work from, whether it's consolidation, a big iceberg order, or something on the daily. That's the second thing I'm looking for to make a pre-market trade. If I don't have those, I'm waiting until the open to see if we can't work into something. I know, Sean, sometimes we have a bit of a mixed opinion with pre-market trades. I need a few conditions before I'm going to jump in.
Yeah, I like to not really take as, okay, I'm just watching this MU, but it's been amazing stock here. So CCL, I don't know, oh, come on, chart. There we go. So if anybody can guess the number of fills I've had today, you will also win a beat up Trader TV mug as well. But yeah, this position we took right here at 857, guys. So, and look, this is the condition. Just break the level, man. I mean, it was breaking $12. You already had $1 million plus 4 trades now. We already have 1 million plus shares done on the day. So to answer your question, not sure who that question was from, but I like to see volume coming off, letting me know that I can get in and out of shares if I do need to. But here's CCL, guys. Look, number of fills on CCL. So we have 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades, about 4 trades in here. But look at all these fills. I have over 20 fills alone on CCL, let alone everything else. So I like to see volume in the pre-market, and then I don't put on too much risk. That's why this 12, although, here on CCL, a couple hundred shares, not out of the question, of course, but then right here, 9 o'clock, that's the initial position. And this is what I'm talking about. Right when the market opens, 9:31, this is the hammer time. It breaks the pre-market low, then we go all in, and yeah, that's a monster trade there. So like to put on more shares once the market opens. For me, the pre-market can be a little sketchy. I've lost hundreds of dollars trading Microsoft and Apple and being right. It's just that it breaks key levels off the open. You get market on open orders can be very, very difficult to trade around. So the market falling, but one person that's always on point and standing up straight is Brendan Wickens, although he's sitting now, I guess. What's up, Brendan?
Wish I was standing. Yeah, MLND, guys, little therapeutics company moving to the upside. Big time mover today, 16%. Huge volume came in as we broke the highs here at 163, 164. So nice look. MLND, another one, doesn't have specific vaccine related news, but in that same group, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of these, and it doesn't necessarily have to have specific news to be a mover. This one, not as big a move as some of the others, and that's why I'm probably going to stick away from it for at least the time being. I want to see a bigger move to the upside. Maybe it spikes from 16% to like 25, 30, something like that, and then you get a bigger opportunity for a retracement play. We are looking at several of these names. You have to pick and choose, and you want the ones that are more volatile, or if it's going to have less volatility, maybe more shares for more scalability. I need to see a couple of those things out of MLND before I would jump into it. We do have that SM, but I got to get you guys over to Square here, which we thought this one would be a bit of a long, and we got away from the short. Now it's making fresh lows. This market is continuing to try to roll over. I just have 2 positions on. We're going to throw them up here, update the position board for you. We still have Zoom short at 129.05. It's basically been in and out, 25, 30 cents in the money, 25, 30 cents out of the money, holding below VWAP. And then SM, we're holding the second half here short 239. It's at 226. I want it to come all the way down to that 215 area before we get out of that one. So a couple of shorts on. That's been what's profitable all morning long. We had 1 small win on Square. That's the only long that's worked here for me, Sean.
Yeah. We don't have, right now, knock on wood, no losers, but we're going to wait to see on this one. Micron, we just pick it up down here. You see some 29s and some 27s we pick up on Micron. Let's wait to see what this one can do. So here's a call right here, 45.12 29, 45.27. We've picked it up. We'll still continue to pick it up, and then we'll dump it if it breaks below 45.15. But you guys can see here the futures, ding, 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 ding. Nice little move down to 2,700 coming up here on the ES. So we're not going to die on a sword. We're not going to let Micron turn into a losing position. Well, the position might be losing, but the trade today won't be. So we're going to wait till 45.15. We just pick us some more up there at 45.24. But yeah, I don't know if it can hold these futures much longer, guys. 27.23 now, breaking downside. So we just broke that 27.25 on the ES. That's never a good sign. Wow, works. Not sure if you're still in this one at all, Neil, but works. Wow. We may take this one 8.25 if it wants to break that number, but wow, works to the top side once again.
Out a long time ago on that one at 680. But quick look here, guys. It is already 10:40. I can't believe the time is flying. I see a sea of red, and that means Brendan is at the big screen. It's time for our Sector Watch.
Hey guys, yeah, Sean gave us a nice look at the S&P chart there. Let's have a look at how we are doing individually as far as the groups go. 1.95% now to the downside. Some significant levels coming back into play once again today. I want to start over on this side. Consumer discretionary stocks leading this market lower once again. We have some of the airlines in here. We have some of the clothing manufacturers in here. Tapestry, one of those. 8% PVH, another one. 8% PHM, another one. 8% to the downside. UAA there, 7 and change. There's RL. We have Lennar as well, some of the home builders coming into play. If you're traveling if you are looking at some of the cruise stocks, they are in the services group. RCL, CCL here, 8.6%, 13.5% today. RCL leading that group to the downside. There's Norwegian as well, hot on its heels, 12% just behind it. Banks are very weak. We did see some pre-market strength in this group, but no longer. All of them in the red here as far as the banks. Diversified financials, 5+% moves to the downside. We have some of the insurance companies down there also in the red. Way over here in the corner, little tiny group, energy group, the only one in positive territory. Obviously not a tiny group, but in relation to the other moves. So these boxes, just to explain, these boxes on this screen are in correlation to the size of the move for the sector today. So you can see energy stocks way down here, little teeny tiny box today because of the move is so small. It is positive still, but just barely. Healthcare stocks, real estate, utilities, all red. Industrials here. Look at Caterpillar, 8% to the downside. SWK, ETN, and URI, all 5+%. We were talking about some of the semis earlier. Little tiny group down here as well. Semiconductors today are positive, but just barely. We have software services and tech companies, the hardware side, both in negative territory. So overall, yeah, back above 2% now to the downside, guys, for the overall market. It's a red one to start the week, guys. Back over to you.
Right, I see some questions here from Lewis, and I'll get to that in a second. But look at MU, guys. Rain that money in again. We only have 30% of our position. Look at these longs down here. And this is a good example because I could go over with you on the chart what we're talking about here. These are buys down here. Again, we talked about giving you the trades. Here's the trade. I mean, I gave this to you when it was against me here. Going long 28, 29, picking some up at 25, and now cashing out 41s, 42s, 36s, 37s. So here's the lesson here, guys. We'll put them on the board at the bottom as well, if I can. Short sell arrows. So these are these purple arrows, and what that means is that we're borrowing stock. So we go ahead and we believe the stock is going to start heading southbound or down. So we take the short here. All of these purple ones are shorts, and then we're buying them straight back. So buy them back, buy them back. We short again down here at 21 and buy it back at 35. So this trade here is a loser. But then all of these red candles, right? These red candles are sells. So what that means is we've gone long here and now sold our position up here at the top. So if you're looking at this situation, those are buy arrows. And yeah, you're right. Those are cash money. So right there, we go long 38, out here 50, out 57, 20 penny winners. Then you see green arrows down here again, guys. And yeah, you're right. Wow, Sean, you're in a 15-cent winner again. We buy these 28s, 29s, 24s, and now we're ripping to the top side. So all of these red arrows is me getting out. So right here, you're going to see me put another offer, probably at 42, 43. So we'll see if that gets out. Here it is, 43, 44. Micron moving to the top side. So we'll throw an offer out here. Now watch this. We're going to get out at 44 here, hopefully, and you'll see a little. There it is. So there's the arrow getting out at 44 right there. So once again, disco ball winner. That's a 17 penny winner. So as you guys can see, long here at 24, 25s, 28s, out 45s, 20 pennies. This is how we do it, guys. We love this stock. I'll be talking about Square in a minute. I've been absolutely hammering Square, one of my best stocks, but today it's been all Neil on that stock. I haven't looked at Square once, but there's a 20 penny winner for you on Micron, even though it's only moving like in a 30% range.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get back to Square in just a little bit here, but I just looked at JP Morgan. It's down 3%. Of course, the market falling off here, but it just put in a higher low. You can see this 99 even holding as a bit of a double bottom, bouncing up above 99.50. So we jump in on that recent strength. You can look at this little 99.15 area, that's that double bottom I talked about. Use that or the even as your stop. I'm going to work into this position, see if we can't add inside of that range, and then work finally, a second long here. We've tried a couple here, but JPM going to be added to that list on the long side that you guys were asking about Square. I'll jump back to that one. It's been a range-bound trade for me primarily. It has not made a bottom. It is holding the trend to the downside, and with the market rolling to this 27.30 over and over again, but getting not too far away from it, I am starting to think about some long opportunities. Square is not necessarily going to be one of them unless it gets above 58. So it's only going to be shorts unless it's above 58. JPM, we just jumped into a long and want to add. Brendan Wickens, what do you got?
Another one moving around here, guys. A little bit of a late move on BMRA. Now 22%. Just went from 840 up to about 930 in a straight line. Look at the volume coming in as well. They announced this morning they're teaming up with the Carl Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai to, hey, guess what? Develop a COVID-19 vaccine. So BMRA moving as well, guys.
Yeah, that works moving, that BRMA moving. Any other names you guys want us to look at, let us know. I see some Netflix talk, and I see some weed names here moving around. We could talk about
getting crushed here at down 8%. It's on its bottoms. I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same thing as the rest of the year. And it's one of those things where I haven't even looked at some of the cannabis names in a while here, and that's just because of the relative volatility that we're seeing in some other names. And I feel like you got to pick your poison, make sure you have access to all the different moving stocks, but make sure that you want to keep your eye on the prize and trade heavily what is working for you and not trade 20, 30 names in a session. That's too hard to do. But a couple of things, and I threw it in the chat there, AAL, tight consolidation, trying to break the 1150 mark. Same thing in SAVE that I talked about before at 13. Very, very tight bottom being made. Lots of buying happening at 13 even and 1150 on American Airlines. So looking for a breakdown in both those stocks. The market rallies, watch out. I talked about the bracket idea that we have in SAVE. We're going long for break 1350 with a 50 stop. So if we break out of this range downside, both those short. If it breaks up, taking SAVE long.
We're long Roku right now, so we take that one long, 94.60. Let's see what happens breaking through this 94.50. You guys know I love 50 cent levels, so we're going to wait to see if this one can go. We may take half out for 50 cents. If it could get to 95, we'll take half of that out for 50 cent winner. But look at MU, guys. This is the money maker for me in the last little bit. So you can see these buys down here, 28, 29s. Now we're taking it to the top side. Our best out was up here, 56, and we just keep on rolling. So let the good times roll here. We're having a little problem breaking through 50. I may get out of half of what we have left and wait to see on this top side. So I'll probably put a sell order here around 48, 49 to get out of some of this, some of our MU. Our Roku, though, falling. I mean, whatever. We're long at 94.50, 94.60 here on a 50 break. So we're going to wait to see the bottom of Roku. We're going to hold it until that breaks. Basically 93.80 in change on Roku. I think we had a good one on this one. As long as the market bounces a little bit off this 27.70, we'll get going here. But hopefully another banger for you guys here with Roku. As MU, we're going to get out some of that one on the top side for a 20 cent winner.
Just want to keep you guys updated with what's happening in oil. We talked about it a few times here, and we like some ideas to the long side on XOM. And that was if we could hold the top end of the range, and we've held below 23.50 on the oil futures contract, and now we're testing down to 23 even. So as much as it's still up 2% overall, you are seeing some weakness and a bit of a pullback. Again, this is that whole sell the news story. So for me, I might have a quick look at some, maybe like an Oxy again to the short side, but that XOM long idea is going to have to be put on the back burner with this slide to the downside. I know you guys have been watching oil heavily. This is one thing you have to keep in contact of if you're watching the crude oil contracts. JPM, we tried the long in front of this 99. It's now going to test that 99.50 double bottom. We did add to this position. I talked about having a target range. Save some arrows in your quiver or bullets in your gun, whatever you want to call it here, for the test of that low. So 99 even is going to be the out on JP Morgan, and also want to add one more time in our target range. It's not only breakout trades, you can look to play inside of consolidation to build a position. That's what I prefer to do in a name like a JPM.
Yeah, okay, just writing about some action clips here. We are logged in. Yeah, we're logged in. We are trading in and locked into some Roku right now. We take another long 94.30, so our average price is 52. We're going to wait to see what does happen here. Took a third of the position that we have here on 94.50, and we're going to wait to see on Roku. I still like this 95 break. Obviously, we are moving chair over left. You can see Roku had some problems here breaking through 95. So if the futures can't get going here on the ES, we will see about this. But we are coming up to trade of the day, then followed by our guest of the day at 11:40. But right now we do have Brendan with a good little segment, Money Talks. Let's see what he has.
It's Monday, it's currency time, 10 to 11 here in the Eastern time zone. Let's have a look at some of the major pairs we like to follow here. The euro, I want to start it with back below 110. Once again, so a little bit of U.S. dollar strength coming into play once again. So a lot of these going to be in negative territory. So the euro back below that 110 level was a significant level last week that we mentioned quite frequently, down about 0.3% today. The CAD as well, negative 0.3%. We're back below 72. This got down to 70, but bounced last week up to about 72, 71.5 this week to start. The British pound here, obviously euro pound inverse, 125. It is positive today, obviously. The big news over the weekend, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson being released from the hospital, back at home now, said this morning he's not going to go back to work immediately and focus on being completely recovered before that happens. So positive look here for the British pound, 125. Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, moving in opposite directions the past couple of weeks. These have been a little bit more correlated, but the yen negative today, Swiss franc back to the upside. I brought up the chart over there of Bitcoin down here. It is negative on the day, 6,700. We got up to 7,400. Just wanted to point out the fact that this is looking a little bit like it's starting to roll over again. If you're one of the people following Bitcoin, 7,000 was a bit of a pivot throughout the week last week, but definite weakness coming back in. We're down to 6,600 or 6,700, I should say. Back below 7,000 though. So watch Bitcoin might see a little bit of weakness this week, possibly coming up, guys. Ethereum, the other one, down 4% as well, that we like to have a look at. 152 and change for Ethereum. Guys, back over to you.
As I just mentioned in the chat, some weakness over there in Oxy, and we talked about expressing long trades in XOM and short trades in Occidental. We'll jump in very quickly on that rollover at VWAP. We just got 15, check that, 40 into the short, and just quickly out there for a 15-cent win, looking to see if we can't retest the bottom. And again, the story was unable to hold those gains in the oil market, and then trading over here in Oxy, express the shorts in Occidental as opposed to something like an XOM, as we mentioned a few times. I also talked about the airlines, American, with that 1150 level that was holding. It just broke. So we jump into a short here at 1146. The market's on bottoms. You got very tight consolidation in American Airlines. Worth noting, Save did not break. So we did not actually get the short and Save at the same time, but now short at 1146 in American. Also short in that SM still at 239. That's in the money, 18 pennies for us. Looking to see if it can't take off that 220 and we get that VWAP retracement we've been waiting for all morning long.
Yeah, VWAP on XOM is broken a long time ago. Okay, so we make it out. This Roku, there it is. I was going to say we make it out of this Roku, but there goes Roku, breaking through 94. We give it to about 75 and then get out. So yeah, we're human. Our first loser goes to the gates of hell for the day. That's our first loser today, is Roku there. You can see, look, as honest as you can be on the show here. Here's my buys and here's my sell as we exit out of Roku. Brendan, what you got for us, bud?
PSTI, guys, another one we were looking at earlier on this morning. A nice little consolidation for me here. We had a move from about $9 all the way down to $8.15. Tight consolidation here, looking like it might want to get down here and test $8 possibly again for PSTI, guys.
All right.
Add that one to the list, guys. But continuing the roll here in AAL, I do expect at some point Save's going to trigger in as well, so I can be short both of these names. You are getting the futures test that bottom here. I only have the 3 shorts on, and I just covered a couple of them. But I'm looking for a target out in front of the low of the day. 11.25 is the actual low right now at American Airlines. I will take some out in front of it and then try to hold the rest for a bit of a break. But I think there should be at least some support at that price, and that's why you want to take profitability off, especially with the futures hanging out at this bottom for so long. So AAL right now short in the money, only about 5 cents. Oxy we're short 25 pennies in the money on that Occidental short. So a bit of a better break to the downside on this name. We did, of course, already take some profit out on that Oxy trade. Looking to see if we can't hold this one either to a retrace VWAP 1550 or so, or let's break 15 even and continue this slide to the downside. It's been shorts all morning long that have been fantastic for us here. Add that one to the list. And of course, SM, that small cap, still holding on to that short trade. It's been a good one, but we're patiently waiting here to see if we can't take this out here out on a 220 break, and then maybe even catch a secondary flush through VWAP on SM.
It's funny that CCL is not really doing anything. Neither is Delta, but I'm going to check back in Delta because CCL is doing nothing. CCL, profitable-wise, Tesla, my biggest stock of the day, and you're going to see that in about 3 minutes with our trade of the day. Here goes Delta, down 8%. You're seeing a big move here to the downside today off the open. Wow, this is what created that CCL profit. And again, CCL, my second stock for the day, followed by Facebook. But right now, Delta's trying to get back over this 2250 level. If we do that, then maybe we could get going here on Delta as the future's making a nice little move back. Let's check back on Roku here. 93.83, making a move back. I'm not done on Roku. I think we can revenge trade this one a little bit, go to the top side here if we do break back above, but we need to get back above 94.30. I need to clear all of this where we first went long. I'll go long again, but right now Roku fading out. The only position I have on is small because I got to go. It's this MU right here, and we'll wait to see what this can do. Top side, still long right now, 45.25, waiting to see if this breaks down here, 45.20. But Micron is the only position I have on as we get ready for trade of the day, guys. In 2 minutes, I'll be at the big screen.
Just a quick second here before we get over to Valeria. I know we're going to talk a bit about Europe. We're going to be closing up, but Save did trigger us in. It broke that 13 even, failed to get past about 1280 or so. But on the way back, we actually picked up those shares at 96. So we're now in both Spirit and American Airlines short for 1146 and 1296 respectively. Looking to see if we can't take these bottoms out here. I will scalp some of this off for 10-15 cents on Save. Just take advantage of the liquidity and the volume that is certainly there. So 3 shorts once again, Oxy, American, and Spirit to the south side that we're going to work with. I also want to go back to Square. Of course, it's been one that we're tracking. It's trying again to make a bit of a bottom here at 56.50, and I keep wanting this one to base out so I can grab some kind of a long in Square. It just hasn't happened yet, so we're going to be patient with this. For now, we're going to take some profit like we just did and floss it off in Spirit. We just took it out for that 15-cent scalp. Want to hold the rest for breaks to the bottom on both American and Spirit. And Oxy looking like it might be a reload opportunity, I think, in Occidental Petroleum. This one still holding some weakness here, but if it gets anywhere near this 1550 mark, I think we might have to jump back into some shares in front of VWAP. This one looks like it's ready to flush, but I did mention we are ready for Valeria and our European update.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Well, Europe is mostly in the positive territory today, except for Russia being down 1.72%. Britain is up 2.9%. Germany is up 2.24%. France is up 1.44%. And Spain is up 1.71%. Now some quick news from Europe. 4 French supermarkets are going to collaborate with Uber Foods in order to supply citizens with the online ordering food within 1 hour. Spain begins to ease the lockdown measures in order to revive the economy. People in manufacturing, construction, and some services will be allowed to come back to work, but will have to stick to strict safety guidance. That's all for now, and I'll keep you updated. Back to Brandon.
All right, guys, 11 o'clock. Let's get into trade of the day. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. First of all, this is the segment where we jump into one of the stocks that either Neil or Sean traded in the first hour or so of the day, talking about the news related to it. If you joined us at 9 o'clock, we mentioned all of the names that are moving around in the pre-market and talk about a possible approach to how we could go about trading them once the market gets open. So join us at 9 o'clock. Today we mentioned one of those, Carnival Cruise, moving around. Oh, I thought it was CCL. No. Tesla is going to be the trade of the day. I thought you guys were talking about Carnival. Carnival Cruise was moving around, but Sean's going to talk about Tesla here, a name that's been in play over the past month or so. Moving back to the upside, showed all kinds of relative strength right off the get-go this morning. Let's go over to him.
Yeah, kind of flattering there, Brendan, because we could have used Carnival Cruise Lines. This was just our highest trade by net, and I think it's scheduled out and structured out really well here on Tesla. Look, we're live every single day, so join us at 9 a.m. Eastern where we go over stocks. Today we didn't touch on Tesla. I mean, every day Tesla seems to be moving. What I noticed was, and I hope you'll get this in the first clip, we were only up about 1.92% or so on Tesla when we started looking at it. We noticed it was stronger than the market, right? Which can be true. When Tesla gets going, it can get going. So this is why I choose to put some capital, put some risk into this name, and we actually wait for it to settle down. This is, again, typical of how I trade. I don't like to trade a lot of these big cap names, especially like Tesla early on. Look how choppy this is, and this is kind of why. I put this line here, 585. That was kind of, a nice little pivot for me in the open. But you can see, we open up here, we go to 591 all the way down to 586. Each one of these moves is about $7 or $8. So depending on the amount of risk you're willing to take, what your buying power looks like, can you absorb a $7 or $8 move? So by this time, 10 o'clock, we're already well in the money on a lot of our positions. So yes, we did have some opportunities to risk a little bit more. So all of a sudden, we see some consolidation. We see this move from the bottom. I love picking up shares after we see a move happen like this. So those of you wondering, there's the little green mark, followed by a couple red marks. This is the trade here on Tesla. Why don't we run the first clip to sort of see what's going through my mind when we make this first entry. And we're now into Tesla long here, 587, so hit the excitement there. Look, it's a 70-cent spread when it starts getting opened up here. So I tried to get more 85s. That didn't happen. It actually only went down as low as 585.60, as now we're getting elevated again to the upside as Tesla right now, a $1 winner plus $1.20 winner. We want more, obviously. Let's see if we can get into the 590 area, and then we'll dump half, and then we'll see if we can't run with Tesla more to the upside here. We're long 587.03, guys. It's at 590 right now. Let's go. So here we go. These are each 1 minute candles, right? And so basically in about a minute and a half right there, we talk about it. I structure it out for you, talk about getting out of half at 590, and boom goes the dynamite. About a minute and a half later there, Brendan, we get that out at 590. Look, we have no idea what's about to happen. I mean, you got to hide all this. I wish I knew it was going to 605, but we do get out of half right there. You can see the market moves happening now. 10 o'clock tends to be another little spot with different numbers coming out. We get out right away in a minute and a half. We capture that $3 just so when we talk about, Neil always talks about playing with house money there. We wanted to make sure we captured it. My out's going to be down here 580, right? So if we're long at 587, this trade already is going to be a decent winner because we take the $3. If it falls back down and we get out of our absolute worst spot, it'll be a $7 hit. So we absorb some of that. Obviously, you're about to see what happens next. But Brendan, take out half, about as perfectly structured as I can do it.
And a great point there. I think you made, we have no idea it's going to make that huge second leg to the upside, get above those pre-market levels and make new highs on the day. But maybe talk a little bit, Sean, about, where you were looking at as far as targets. We'll get to the clip in a second here, but some of those pre-market highs came into play there.
Yeah, and great point there. Thanks for pointing that out. Right here, this is what we're talking about. In the pre-market, we got as high as about 595 right here in the pre-market. So although these levels weren't really my target spots, it was more about what happened. And again, maybe I should have given this a little bit more space. You can see what happens here. It goes from 590 all the way to 593 before dropping back down to 90 again. So we had about, again, that's that $5 range happening again in the stock. So what I'm noticing is if I could take this next leg out for a winner, this is a $6 winner, right? So depending on how many shares you have, you're capturing $6 there. And look what winds up happening. It basically goes all the way back down to where I got in. So you could have rinsed and repeat this trade. This is also on a 1 minute chart. Maybe some of you are asking about that in the chat, or you're wondering what we look at. This is a volume weighted average price. So I know Joseph checked out some of our clips that were on our YouTube channel. There is one about VWAP where we talk about how we use VWAP, and there's a break of it right there, giving me some more confidence to get in. And then why don't we check out the clip here where we take out this $6 winner. Look at this out on Tesla. I just got to make sure I don't have any orders here to get me out if I need to. Look at this. We go long 587, bang, half of it out, $3 winner. The next half out here, 592.79. So that's a nice little $6 winner. So we go $3, then we go $6. That's a big winner. So we're going to floss that off the two. Yeah, we rounded up there. We rounded up about 40 cents there to give that $6 winner. You can see in there 87, out 92.79. Good little trade there. And I talk about, this is another key point there for a lot of you traders that may be beginning traders. Neil and I still do it all of the time. But basically, I say check to see if you have any orders out there to get you out of your position, right? So I actually had a stop order down here for 580, 575 or something like that down at the bottom. So what I was doing there was checking that to make sure, just in case we fall down, I don't get triggered out down here. So we cancel all of these positions. We take that big winner. This is the biggest winner, I think, for the day here, $6. Nice little trade. Like you said, Brendan, breaking 600. That could have been something to look at there again. Breaking through $600. If you're talking about some key outs, you could always go long. I mean, again, depending on your time frame, if you're an options trader and you want to get long down here, you may wait for that sixth pivot sort of to hit if you're trading options. But for us here trading equities, we in and we're out there. This is a lot of money to be made in 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes of trading there. A $6 winner on Tesla. I'm pretty sure I'll take this every day, and now we'll wait to see what Tesla does as it's bouncing off 600. But Brendan, this is a decent trade. I liked it. Like you said, we could have used anything here for our trade of the day today. Only one losing stock, and that's Roku. I'm going to check on that when we get back. But for now, Tesla is your trade of the day, Brendan.
Yeah, lots of opportunities right across the board, depending on where you were looking this morning. We did get above that pre-market high, gave you another consolidation and another break to the upside. So lots of things to look at, but Tesla, plenty of opportunity in that one. Some of the cruise lines, as we were mentioning, also moving to the downside, giving you great opportunities as well. Tesla, your trade of the day for Monday. Let's go back to the guys.
What a fantastic trade it was. The market continues to slide to the south side here. So I do have a couple of shorts on. We did talk about American Airlines and Spirit. Still in the money, but it's Oxy that looks like it's been the best one so far of these three. Breakdown here through 1550 at VWAP. We grabbed 40s, took some out at 25, and holding the rest. See if we can't break this 1510 that we're sort of basing out at right now. We were trading right off the open at 1480, so there's lots of room to the downside to go. out, as it just feels like one of those sell the news type of events, and it was positive news getting that deal done, and now the market looking like it wants to give at least a little bit of it back. Of course, he had a record week last week, relatively speaking, on the S&P, best since like 1987, up like 12%. So a little bit of sell action coming in on Monday, after that long weekend, I guess is going to be in the cards. It's been the shorts that are working, got a couple of airlines short, and then add Oxy to the list.
Yeah, I know. Yes, last week was a record week, and that's a great one. I think it goes back to when we were born, Neil, 1974.
You're right. It was 74. It was not 87. Whoa. First of all, no. We're not quite that old, Sean. 74? Come on, man. You can't do that to us. I don't have that much gray hair. I'd have a heck of a lot more if I was born in 74. You guys can guess if you want, but I will probably not tell you.
Yeah, put Neil's age in the chat there. We'll see if whoever wins it wins a trader. No, we're just joking. We don't have any mugs to give out. Okay.
We should, though.
We should. Eventually, we'll be giving some swag out, but we'll see here. Yeah, I come back and I notice, and it's a bit embarrassing. For some reason, I have 10 shares of Micron. I keep hitting the wrong button here. I have 10 shares long of Micron at 45.25, so I'm going to get out of that one. We are bouncing right back up to VWAP, so I do like this trade long now, but like Neil was mentioning, the future's now collapsing. We could break that 2,700 to the downside here, 46, 43. Now, he's not 87 there yet. Maybe.
I'm declaring Arouge the winner there just because I like the number that he threw in.
Arouge,
I like that 36. It may not be correct, but I'm certainly loving to hear it. Thanks there. I'm going to go change the subject right now before we get too close to the guests. Oxy, we just got out in front of that 15. I talked about this when we got into the trade. 15.50 break to the downside. Wanted to get out, scalp in front of that 15 even. We just took it out at 15.05. So a nice 35-cent win on the second half of that Oxy trade. Valeria has something for us. What do you got?
Hey guys, how's it going everyone? I hope you're having a great day so far, and I remind you, please hit the thumbs up. Let's reach 200 today. You'll make us really happy, and of course subscribe for our channel. We are live every day and you'll receive notifications when we are back on air, so you won't miss anything. I'm still on the chat and still waiting for the great questions I can address to real traders, so they'll go a little bit more into detail. If something like really important for you, go ahead guys. You still have a chance for your question to be read out loud for traders. Again, hit the thumbs up and stay tuned. Back to traders.
Valeria trying to make us work.
Yeah, we're going to do that every day starting today, guys. So throw your questions in the chat. Valeria is going to pick one out per hour that will show on the TV and answer it live on the show. So SABR here, just wanted to mention this one, guys. Had an offering this morning way down here at 560, but broke even further all the way down to 540, consolidating at the lows here. SABR 22% to the downside if you're looking for some weakness, guys.
No worries there. Just telling Randy, if we can get a coffee, we'll take a refill of that. Okay, we were talking about MU down here at that VWAP. I said we were going to get more long, and I started chatting away and missed it. So, I need like a face palm there. So we'll cry a little bit, but I hope you guys maybe did have that position on board as well. Micron long at 45 was a great one. I love taking longs. Talk about a little bit of education here, guys. We love getting longs at those even dollar levels. You can see the first breaks were shorting through 25, then a long up here around 25 as well. So 45, a nice little even level, 45.25, 45.50 is what I mean when we talk about that one. But you know what I wanted to check back on was Tesla, because looking at it when we were doing that trade of the day, come on, mouse, was everything falling down here? It is bouncing off that 600. I want to take Tesla. Look, the market's fallen quite a bit here. So if Tesla can get going again, let's hit this long one more time through this high, maybe 605. I do like Tesla. You know 5% is nothing. Let's go long through 605 here on Tesla and see if we can get some more. And look, I'll take $3, $4, $5 again if it can, give it to me. We'll take Tesla long through 605 is the trade I'm looking at, or UAL maybe through 29.
Yeah, you talk about UAL, then I'm just going to jump to AAL and SAVE. We'll talk about both these at the same time. We did take that little short work out of it, but we couldn't get towards that bottom. So the last third on American, we're going to take this one out on a rebreak of that 1150 area. So you win in the first two-thirds. You're going to lose a little bit on the second two-thirds. I'm going to file this one away, however, because on that same pop to the upside, we covered the rest of our spirit position flat. So, a little bit of relative weakness jumping into this name, which I guess should not be too surprising. If we get a further rollover, it'll probably be Spirit that I play to the south side from now on. I only have one position left, and it's going to be a bit of a different play here, and it's going to be Tiffany, which is showing some weakness. And again, this is more of a range-bound type of trade. And I'll go to the last week to show you what I'm working with here. 128 has been a really good bottom on this stock, and showed a lot of weakness, especially at the close on Thursday. So very, very tight stop at 128 we're going to work with. Just grab some at 128.30 or so and want to build this position, see if it can't retrace back to this strength that it showed at 129 for the second half of last week. But for right now, Brendan, what do you have?
Another one, guys, with an offering today also showing some weakness. Natera here, NTRA down about 11%. Just broke this tight consolidation around 29.50. Testing day lows here, 28.50. That move alone $1, but watch this 28.40 level coming up. That initial spike to the downside off of the open, guys.
Brendan just giving us more and more symbols, so add this one to the list. This is one of those plays where very, very similar to the break I just had in the airlines. You really want this one through that 29.40. When you have missed out, I don't like chasing that type of move. It either retraces and gives you some support in that range, that 29.40 to 30, or you're looking for a test of that actual low at 28.20. So you don't want to jump in too heavily with some of those moves. If you've missed it, don't jump in and get that whole FOMO and then get too early into a move. Similar to what I'm going to do here over in Oxy, which is not get it until we retest closer towards that VWAP. It was a fantastic trade, but on a pullback, the futures keep trying to make bottoms here. Oil keeps trying to make a bottom. Hasn't happened yet, but I am looking for a 1550 retrace. Just make sure you keep a very close eye on what is happening on the overall oil futures, which just broke back above 23 bucks after flushing down to a low of 22.70. So if we hold below about this 22.25 consolidation area, that'll still be short territory for me on Occidental. It just has to stay below. I'm not shorting it if we break above.
Yeah, and you guys don't want to disappoint Valeria there. We need only 5 more likes.
Oh, let's go. Come on.
Right now. I just checked it. We're at 185, so 5 more likes there. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's go to the moon on this one. If it breaks 15.15 here, we're going to take SpaceX. That's Virgin Galactic straight to the moon. I haven't been on this one yet today, but yeah, we booked our flight already, so Merry Christmas to my wife. Yeah, the minute we go up to the moon, I'll be sending her straight up there. I'll probably stay back for that one, but 15.15, we're going to go on that one as we go straight to the upside on SpaceX. We're going to see, man, that's right where this VWAP is. So let's see if we get accelerated. I mean, the best long, I think, would be 15.30, but let's just see if we can't get going here. There's a nice little base down here, 14.85. Again, 1,000 shares, couple hundred shares, whatever you want to do here. Breaking through 15.15. I do like that stock here, down 1.64%. Our Tesla is trying. My order, stop order buy, I'm going to put that up for you guys so you can see what we're talking about. I have a stop order in right now, 194. Shout out to A. Rosado. Good point there. Let's see if we get to 200. Here comes Tesla, guys. Watch out for this 605 break. We're going to take it again on this one and hopefully not lose what we made, but 605 on the break to the top side here. Getting accelerated is Tesla, and we're going to see what happens here. We are going to get, here we go, 605, there we go. So now we're in Tesla 605.20. Let's see what happens to the top side here. 606 coming, right on board, 606. Hello, a quick little $1.50 winner, Neil. This is how you trade it. Let's see what happens. Don't fade against me, Tesla. Let's see if we get 610 on board, guys.
I quickly just mentioned you guys in the chat. Watch out on CCL at 1160. That's going to be a big price for me. I just put a stop order in to make sure I don't miss this trade when it gets there. I'm going to short in front of it and reverse hell along CCL. Look, you got to have some ideas. If we make a bottom here in front of this 2700 and then retake that 2730 level on the ES, you got to have some long opportunities. I was looking at a break there potentially all morning long into the upside on Square, but add CCL to the list through 1160 if it can finally get there. Speaking of Square, we are going to jump back here. I know a few of you people have been looking for a bottom. Well, it just bounced $1 off 56. It's about the strongest move that I've seen so far. So if we're going to take a shot here, it is probably going to be right at this time of day. And again, you do get less volatility or so around lunchtime. Maybe that protects you in your long just a little bit. I don't know how much that's going to apply to Square, especially on a day like this. But I look at that previous bottom at 56.30 or so. If we can hold that in front of 56 even, that's going to be our long shot in Square. Just gave one over there in Carnival Cruise as well, which is just down so much. We've seen massive moves to the upside when it gets beaten down. So watch out for that one. Whether it's the afternoon, whether it's 20 minutes from now, doesn't matter. There's your shot at 1160.
Yeah, we did get on that Tesla break, we did get a little greedy. It goes all the way to 606.70, so it goes $1.70 or so in the money for us. We're going to wait up there again. Hopefully we get hit. I was actually at 606.80 I was sitting at, so we missed that by a little bit, but that's okay. Tesla bouncing around. This is right where we're in at right now, 605.20, so that's basically the offer price. So we're going to see, there it is now. So see if Tesla can't get going. We're going to wait up here again, 606 and change. I don't want to tell you exactly. You'll see, hopefully, if we get going, we'll take it again. We'll do the same kind of play. Take out half, and then we'll hold for higher on Tesla. It's the only position we have on right now, and I'm going to do a check on the likes. And how many do? 198 right now. So we are a little delayed.
Get there.
Let's see if we can't get up to 200 today. Thank you for everybody. Thanks for the subscriptions and the subscribe. It's a free show. So yeah, you can go long Doritos on the show. I don't know how exactly. Maybe by sharing the link. So share the link, and we'll be back for you every single day, like we keep on talking. I'll probably drop this Tesla like I can see it right here, 603 and change. If we do break that, we'll take, like I said, about a $2 or $3 winner or a $2 or $3 loser on this one. Maybe this price, 602. But I'm expecting this to get going here. Let's see if Tesla can't fight the futures and get up a bit here, guys, on the long side. It's 11:20, only 40 minutes left in the show.
And speaking of that, I just talked about Oxy earlier and oil if we get back below that $23 area. So we did test to the upside and just broke it southbound. So working back towards those lows, I immediately jump into Occidental where I like to express these trades. It's still below our 1550 target area. So look, it's a little bit aggressive in this consolidation at 33. You're not getting right up towards that 1550 price, but it's a nice short on a break back down. So Oxy, once again, we're shorting until we're wrong on this name. So if it breaks above VWAP, fair enough. If we hold above 23, fair enough. Hasn't happened yet. We're back into those shorts. I believe we are ready for Valeria coming through. No, is it Valeria? Nope, Brendan, my mistake. We're ready for Brendan Wickens. What do you got, bud?
Went a little late to the party this morning, guys. ATHX just popping up on a volume screener. 310 to 340 here in a straight line. Look at the volume coming into this thing. Watch 340, 350 levels in the pre-market over here. They announced this morning they have a new gene therapy they're working on as a possible COVID-19 treatment. Guys.
Fashionably late, Brendan. It doesn't matter if you're late to the party as long as you get there. There are always shots here. And look, you look at this level, you look at 340 right here, right now. You just got a volume spike. That was the open top end of that range right before the open at the pre-market. So look at 340 for a break to the upside. It just gave you one spike. Look for a rollover if it fails, and then use 340 as an out. That's my standard play. But when I look at a name like this, well, I don't care that necessarily we missed out on some of the action earlier. We certainly can play it right now.
Come on, Tesla. Tesla's back to 506. Let's see if we can't get that going. I know it'll get it going. Let's run our stock logos, and one of the coolest ones, Tesla. So let's get going on Tesla. We'll see. We just resisted that 606 there, sorry. So not sure if there was some kind of a little bit of a iceberg order there at 6. There it goes. Okay, just breaks through 600 now. So let's get going to the upside here. We're along 605 right now on Tesla. High of the day, 606.90. We'll see if we can't get out a little bit before then and then hold the rest. As yeah, the futures are trying to go, but this is resisting this 600 here. So we may take some out here around 600 and then just hold the rest. But Tesla right now to the top side. Let's see if we can't get going as the ES also looking to break, guys. Tesla, come on, let's go. Let's see if we can't get going here, Tesla. We're now $1 into the money on this name. Let's see if we get more, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just jumped into position on the ATHX. So Brendan brings it to our attention. We immediately formulate a quick little plan there and are able to work off it. Again, it's a bit of a structure that we've done before. So it's not that we made it up on the spot. We grabbed 337 short. It's a 340 break to the long side if it goes. But it's also, look, it's 11:20. And I know you love this segment. Make sure you hit that like and give a few for Valeria right now with our In Focus.
guys, yes, please hit the thumbs up. It makes me really happy. Well, welcome to In Focus. Some quick updates over the weekends in case you've missed. OPSC Plus Group agreed to cut production by 9.7 million barrels per day. The deal will start on May 1st, and OPC Group hopes that other countries outside the group will also join the production cut in order to shore up the price. Donald Trump, in his Twitter, cheered up on the agreement, saying that this will save hundreds of thousands energy works in the U.S. Also, according to AAA organization, the national average oil price in the US was $1.8 on Friday. This is the cheapest price in the last 4 years. Though right now more than 42 states being under lockdown orders, so Americans cannot really take advantage of the cheap fuel. Disney will lay off 43,000 of its union workers, and the company will pay 100% of the health insurance during their layoff. Though the parks are still remain closed, around 200 of workers will continue to work for the Disney. That's all for today, and stay in focus and stay healthy. Back to traders.
Thank you very much, Valeria. Works is back on the radar. We'll see if we can't work into something again on this trade. It did put in the top at $9.95 in the pre-market. That's what we've been working away from this entire time. But watch this right at the open. You had about 720, which was the top end of that little move. It was a breakout through that price. It was also recent support. And now we're putting in a lower high. So you're getting a bit of a channel that's between 720 or so and this 8 even. I think I like it to the south side if we can, in front of it. And then if we can break 720, you want to add to that position on works, but don't let it break 8 even. That's got to be a bit of a hard stop. So I'm going to jump into this one. I'm looking to maybe add to one of the 720 break, but you have to have a very, very tight stop on it. We do also have position in that Oxy still below that 1550. That's 1533. The market is trying to rally back towards 2730 on the ES. That is still down 2%, of course. But overall, we are hoping that we can make a bit of a base and try some of these long plays we've been talking about, but haven't been able to work our way into just yet.
And there it is, guys. We'll floss it off. Tesla, banger. Look, it was the trade of the day, and thank you for all the nice comments there on YouTube and on the chat. Here we go. Tesla, guys, we're long once again, 605. It's at 609. This is a $4 winner. We take out half. I told you there foolishly it was bouncing off 600 a couple times. But look at this trade. Long right here, 605, out at 606. And now we hold this one for a banger. Once again, another big winner. Check out the numbers on the bottom on Tesla. Look at this win. Here we go. Long 586. Bang, bang. That's $9 right there. Then we go long again here. Out for $1. Now we hold this one. This is a $4 winner right now on Tesla that we have on board. So all things are rocking and rolling. So we catapult our daily total through the roof there. So nice little trade there on Tesla. Just to get you guys back, we are long. Virgin does break there. This is Virgin Galactic. We're talking about SpaceX. They're going to the top side here. We're going to see what happens here on SPCE going top side. Virgin Galactic, we are now long 1517 here. And again, not too many shares, but we're going to wait to see what does happen. It's very choppy. We're still down that 1%, but I think we may have a good spot here as Tesla. Let's see if we break 610. That's the target spot for this one. A nice little $3 winner as we'll floss that one off. Let's go, everybody. Here we go. Big winners for yours truly today. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. This is our largest day. Thanks for all the positive feedback.
Finally, Square could be going here. You talk about this all morning long. It is now holding above 57, so I'm going to work into position on Square. I saw a bit of a seller at 57.30, so you can either fade in front of it or just take it out when it tries to break. So 57.30 on Square. We talked about it holding above that 57. That's going to be a key price point for us. Going to work into position on Square. Finally, we're back at that 27.30 mark, which is kind of the strength we've been waiting for all morning long here. Brendan, what do you have for us, bud?
One from earlier on this morning, guys. BCRX looking like it might want to break the lows here. A little bit of volume coming in as we approach this day low area, 242 down to 240. Watch out for BCRX. As we mentioned, though, $2 was where this thing was trading back on Thursday of last week. So a lot of room to go still to the downside, guys.
Wow, and here's 610 on Tesla, guys. So yeah, we've been hitting this stock pretty perfect today, to say the least. We're up now. This is going to be, once again, another $5 winner. We're in the money right now, so we're going to wait to see. Well, if it gets to 610, we're long at 605. We're going to wait to see. We're $4 in the money right now on this Tesla trade, and it just keeps going to the upside here. Our SpaceX, which I keep saying SpaceX, Virgin Galactic, now long here at 15.16. We're going to wait to see if that goes. It did go in the money 2 cents. Who cares? We'll wait to see if we can't get upside more and more here. I'd like it to get to 15.30. It stopped out at 15.25, so we will take a little bit out for the quarter point, and then we'll hold and see if we can't get back up here where we were in the pre-market. But for some reason, man, this stock down 0.85. The market's down 1.8. So if the stocks want to get going here, I think we can have a winner on SpaceX, now up to 15.19. It's a 2 cent winner. Depending on the amount of shares, you may want to take some off. I'm not. We're going to wait for 15.25 or so and get the rest, some of these out on Space, and then some at 15.30, and then hopefully up here above 15.50 is our next spot. But here it is, nice little 4 cent winner on Space, and a 5. There it goes, Tesla to the moon, breaking through $6, hit the air horn, hit the alley-oop. I hope you guys like this. This is what's going, guys, today. Tesla, here's another $7 winner for you, plus 10 cents on Space right now. Did I say 7? I meant $8. Let's keep going this money here on Tesla. 611, wow, this is where we're long. You can tweet out these charts. Long here, 586, you could still have that if you want. If you didn't, I reloaded down here, 605. Here we go, just another winner, guys. Let's go, disco ball.
We talked about longs at 27.30 on the futures, and we reversed only to the long side. Now Oxy at that 15.50 we talked about all morning long. Quickly scalped out, 10 cents, gonna hold the rest. Long in Square at that 57 area. That's in the money, 30 cents. We talked about that bottom all day long. Works, we're trying at that $8 area. That's the only long that's not working. Works is a bit of a frustrating one, but I'm only long right now. This is what we're talking about here. I also do have that ATHX that Brendan mentioned on a 340 break. That's not really going anywhere just yet, but finally a little bit of strength being shown in the market overall after falling all the way downside here. One other name to get to, of course, is going to be a Disney. We've been talking about Disney very heavily without maybe trading it as often, but look at this level coming up here about 101.70. That could be a nice little breakout trade to the upside. It did just make a nice bottom out of 100. Maybe we can add that one to the list. Already expressing trades in Square, Oxy, and that ATHX to the long side. Maybe we can add Disney to the list. I also want to have a quick look at the banks. They were so weak all morning long. JP Morgan, a tough one here through the bottom. It's trying to get back above this 99 area. So if we can hold above, at that point, maybe I'll like to add JP to the list. But for the time being, it's Square long in the money. It's Oxy back reversing to the long side at 15.52, showing a little bit of strength finally in the energy space.
Yeah, okay. Seeing this record number of views today. So thank you everybody for coming on board. We love you guys as viewers. That's what it was. Good little job today with the questions. Thank you for keeping those coming. Okay, 607.50 we'll get out. Just noticing this here. We go as high as 612 on Tesla. The market coming back in. I don't think so though. We're going to wait to see. Look at this. This is where we started to get accelerated here. So maybe I'll make this bigger screen so hopefully you guys can see this. This is 607.74, so we'll give it a little more room to this wick. 607.50, we'll see and we'll capture. It won't be good, it'll be $3, but $1 on the first one, 3 on the second. We're gonna wait to see if Tesla can't keep on trucking up higher on this name as we're going. But Tesla, once again, guys, another banger. We did get out of some of our space. So here's Virgin Galactic, 517. Wow, thank you, Randy, coming through. Cheers to that one. We got a Tim Hortons cup here, but we are not sponsored yet. So thank you for that, Randy. I owe you a couple bucks, and we'll settle up after the show. But thank you so much for that one. I think we're ready for Valeria here for our next question. What's up, Valeria?
Hey guys, first of all, again, thank you very much for your support. We are trading and we're like doing that for you to be helpful and entertaining at the same time. As I wrote on the chat, guys are not jealous to share their experience because it's enough money on the market for all of us, and we are trying to build a great trading community on the YouTube. So here we do something for you. I'm choosing each hour the best question I find to ask guys so they can give you a little bit more detailed answer. So Zach M. Pro is asking, Neil and Sean and Brandon, when do you guys think the market will go back to its original state? Weeks? I think it's a very vital question right now due to coronavirus. So guys, when?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. Like, do you mean we trade back at the highs? Do you mean regular volatility? Do you mean the economy getting back to? Well, there are a lot of different things there. If you're talking about when we get regular volatility, I think we've already sort of calmed down a little bit, and you're seeing conditions that are somewhat similar. If you're talking about getting back to all-time highs, yeah, good luck with that. Not any time frame that I care to look at for the time being. I actually do think that there is a decent chance that we should at least retest some of those lows. Look, earnings season is about to start. This is what everybody has been waiting for. Volatility is going to jump back in. You're going to see horrific numbers, and the story is going to become whether it's 1 quarter bad earnings or 2 quarters of bad earnings. If it's 3, you can basically forget about it. It's going to probably get relatively ugly. I think in that you want to pick out, if you're going to have long trades in all these markets, you want to find the names that you believe in that are going to be strong, and that other bigger investors are going to put money towards. So whether that's your dividend paying names, giving people are averaging into. I've always liked something like a Pfizer in that type of a play. That's what I kind of think is going to be a nice one. But in terms of when we get back to the top, yeah, not any time frame I care about. And if you're talking in something like a Carnival, yeah, forget about those names. They're not getting bailouts. So, when you talk about the fact they're domiciled outside of the U.S., these ones have been shorts for me, but watch out for the squeeze plays. And I'm jumping back in. I just put in the chat. Can't wait for it to get to 1150. It's showing too much weakness for that. I wanted it short in front of 1160. I'm going to jump in right here at 1130, work this trade in front of that 1160 area, and then with the reversal long. But I can't wait for it because it seems like it's too weak to just not miss out, to miss out on this party.
Yes, okay. As I'm looking here, my bad on that Tesla one. Well, not my bad. I mean, $4 winner, or $3 winner. But Tesla now back up to 609. I did talk about getting some out there, so that's exactly what we did. We did take some of that Tesla out. Well, not some of it, all of it. We're out now. 607.33 was what I got on that 607.50 break. So we'll fail a little bit because, as I said, we left too much on the table, but Tesla just keeps climbing, man. I mean, it was already my number one spot to go today on Tesla. So there we go. We just add to the top of that pile right here. But Brendan, give us something else, bud.
Another little energy name, guys. We've been talking about these little midstream names for the past couple of weeks. Crude obviously back in positive territory. This thing, ENLC, 25% on the day. It's been up here though, 136, 137, 3 times now. Looks like it might want to fail again. Tight little risk potential here, up to about 140, but all the way down to 115, maybe 110 potential on ENLC, guys.
Another one.
You speak about energy. I'm going to quickly show you guys the chart of the oil futures here. We did get a nice bounce above that 23, now fading back in. Look, we hold above 23 even. You're going to see me just buy some Occidental at 15.28 on this little pullback. If we're getting any kind of strength, we're getting the market bouncing back, we're trying to bounce back up in crude, I'm going to dig in here and try for the first time to really work in and average in, actually for the first time ever, first time today in Occidental to the long side. So you get this nice little pullback. We did have the breakout long and scalp, but now we're going to see if we can't long in front of that 15 bottom. So we just jumped into some shares here in Occidental long. We still have that Carnival short. We're still trying to figure out this works. Can it get that break from 8? 995 was the top there, so you see there is plenty of potential on that 8 even break, which is failing, at least for the time being. Our other position, of course, is at ATHX, which is not really moving, and then Square long, which is just reloaded at 57. So, and we talked about finally catching a bounce in Square. Now it's giving you a nice little double bottom, triple bottom here at around 56.80 to 57 even. A VWAP retracement gives you $1. Plenty more room than that if we can get a move back up in the futures.
Yeah, exactly. I love Square to the long side, and that Works. Yeah, Works was a big stock for me today, so we'll hit a home run on that one already. Breaking that top, and I gave that one to you guys right away. It happened literally in the first minute of the show here, and we'll talk about that if I can zoom in if you're just joining us right now. I've traded a lot of big cap stocks today. Facebook, MU, Roku, not so much, but Tesla, and now the only position I have on is Space, Virgin Galactic. But this was that break. We break through 660. 860 in the morning. That was the high on this works, at least this temporary high. We get long and then it just explodes to the upside. Our best out on this one was 7 before getting basically all of it out and then getting out our last little piece down here at 590 for a loser. Now you can see what's happened with that stock. This was the explosion long. I was sort of hoping that would have happened right here, back here, but it didn't. Up to 825. That would have just set our day to the moon to start with here, but we have to wait on that. Now I'm going to wait. If it takes off 840 to the top, we will make that trade. Here's the only spot I have on Virgin Galactic. It's still hovering around this 15.15 mark. That's right where we're long. We already took some out. I told you guys it might run up to 525 there. I hope you're able to take some of that off. And again, depending on how many shares you're using, that's a quick little, actually, what are we long? Yeah, we're long 17 here. So that's 517. We get out at 23. So it's a small little 6-penny winner, but we're going to wait to see if it can hold this garbage here at 1496, 1490 maybe. We'll drop the rest, but let's see if it can't take out 1525, Brendan.
A little gold name to add to the list here, guys. DRD running about 15% to the upside today, coming up to 850. There was some size there. I'll have to double check, but volume coming into DRD. Just saw that gold was basically flat on the day. We had a little bit of a move higher in the pre-market, but coming back a bit. DRD running on its own, guys.
A quick question you guys were asking about, like sort of like naked charts or whatever you want to look at here. Most of the time you're going to see me show you a chart with just VWAP on it, but we do have an entire setup here, and I'm going to put you guys in the spot, our team here. If you can sort of show a look of the trading station that we have up here. I know Sean has like a million screens. I've got a bunch of screens as well. What we also have are some screens that you guys aren't seeing, and I'll see if we can, up to my right here, I have a couple of other ones, but I'm going to show you what else. I have a chart up here that I'm looking at most of the time. You know, I'll also have other charts here that might have something like a 9 and a 20 on a moving average, or even a 200 depending on the time period if I'm looking at it daily. And it's not that we're not looking at other indicators, it's just that I like a clean chart so you guys can see what's going on. It's a lot easier to see something like this breakout that we just took over here in Works, just got some out at 844. We'll floss that one off for you as it takes out that recent high and hopefully can hold for more. It's just easier to see here. I could cloud this up with other indicators and things that I might be looking at from time to time. I just find it would be very difficult to communicate that. If I use another indicator, or Sean does, we'll usually tell you guys here or put it in the chat. So let us know what you think. Do you want us to clutter up our charts and show you everything? Do you like the clean look? I know personally I like to have a clean look on the front here, but also have some other ones that we're watching on the side.
Yeah, we have lots of stuff. I have various control. There we go. Good look there. Yeah, so like 1, level 2, 2, 3, 4, a couple different charts here, different time frames. You guys can see, and then my main page that I'm sharing with you, along with some other information over here. So no, we are not looking at simply at one decision. We're looking at a bunch of different charts and candlesticks and whatnot here. As works, there's that top I was talking about taking off at 828 right there. So boom. That was a nice trade. Glad Neil had that. I did not, but Valeria has something for us, guys.
Hey guys, just 20 minutes until the end of our show for today. Still a lot of interesting and cool stuff yet to come. We are having a guest of the day from the food bank, and I want to remind you that Trader TV Live is donating each time our guest comes $1,500 for the food bank. And also right after our show, go check out Twitter of Neil, Sean and Brandon. Even though our show will be over for today, they still continue trading. They post a lot of charts and very important information. So I'll send you the links for their Twitter accounts. Don't forget to follow them, and don't forget to subscribe for our YouTube channel. Back to traders.
Thank you very much. I'm going to slide my stop order off over in Works back to the 8 even. I was willing to give it to this consolidation point around 750. I don't think we're going to do that now that it's working in the money for us. We'll move it to break even. We wanted to test to 9. It's getting very, very close to that. So I think if we can take off anything close to $1 winner on this one, we'll just go ahead and do that. I kind of like that 10% mark. You can call it random. I do like that opportunity. So anything around 880 to 9 even is going to be a good target for us with a break even stop for the second half of that position. I will also get you guys over to what is not working out for us. That's going to be Occidental. And I only short this name all morning long, and then we try the long opportunity here. You can see us picking some up, and it looks like it wants to take out the bottom. So you know what it is? I talked about being short until you're wrong. yeah, I feel like I gave up on the short a little bit too early on Occidental and wanted to roll over into some long positions. That might not be the correct idea here. We'll probably get out of this one if it breaks the teens, or sorry, 15.10 here, and then work into something a little bit more profitable, which will, I think, be the short trend, which is not broken.
Yeah, we're back into Works as well here, taking out that top. So let's wait to see what it does. We're in at 66 here and still going into the 80s now. Again, depending on the amount of shares that you have, is where your stop order is going to be, right? So I'm going to use this little bottom here, 833. Too many shares on board to let this thing go back to $8. But right now, we're letting this thing run $8.66. Now you get out maybe some 85s, 86s here. I'm going to wait to see if we can, like we mentioned there, break through $9. We are having Sean Shirzadi come from Flemington Food Bank. So again, $1,500 a week from tradertv.live. So I hope I know that helps out. And I know Sean will be talking about that as well. Very, very shortly, I'll be throwing it there. We only have 17 minutes now left in the show. So I'm getting light on some of the positions we have. I do like this Works though. This is the runner today, guys.
Yeah, speaking of Works, fireworks for me, I just mentioned talking that 10% move. That's pretty much exactly what we take out. 881, we're going to get out there on a little bit of a pullback. Just saw a bit of a seller on that level, so we just quickly jump out in front of that price. Look, ultimately, I think it's going to be another retest of this 7 even or 720 area. You can see what a pivot point it's been off the open. It was 720 failure. Then it's basically been bottoming out here in front of 7 even. So give it that 20-cent range that looks like it's tremendous support. That could also be a massive, massive retracement play in the afternoon if you start seeing some profit taking in this name. I want to jump back into a long that has worked. I talked about Oxy in the chat there. 510 is, my stop is actually on Oxy at 1510, but I want to get you to Square, which we did reload. And we've basically been holding this long at 57 even to see if we can't get that retracement play. And it's been so weak all morning long. If it does break anything lower than this 56.80, I don't want to risk too much on a downward trending stock. So it is a relatively tight stop in Square, but it is worth at least a 5-to-1 if we can break above VWAP. So I like the setup of this one. I kind of waited patiently to try this long. We took one shot at a scalp long with a tight stop to make sure we locked in profits. Now we're jumping in again. And remember, it's a weak market, so this is why you want to have a tight-ish stop when you're against the trend.
Yeah, make sure, I know Valeria talked about following us on Twitter, make sure you do that. Posting a few things now as well. Whatever. This Virgin Galactic is starting to bore me a little bit here. We don't have many shares. We already took out a third of our position for 9 pennies. We'll wait to see if we break through this 15.15 again, and more to come on that one. So Works right now, and Space, the only trades we have, Virgin Galactic. I did see some talk there about Facebook. Facebook was a monster. It could have been bigger, obviously. Everything in the morning could have been bigger. But here's the short on Facebook, guys. And yeah, that one, we did not get too greedy, but we should have. We did not want to get slaughtered. And this always happens to me right away, first thing in the morning. You got to watch out for your trades because it can go quickly against you. But we were able to hold about a quarter of our spot here and capture that $3 there clean. Or I think it was $2.30 or so on Facebook. This was our best short, 174 to the downside. Now it's getting elevated topside here. As here we go, Works. We are long still, 866. So we're going to see what happens here. It's bouncing off that spot that Neil took out, 881 or so. We're going to wait to see. It does get as high as 887. I don't know how much more juice this thing has in it. It's only up 290%. So we're going to see if we can get out in the 80s here. Bouncing off that 87 again. That looks like it's the high of the day. Once again, goes to 85 and turns. Let's see if it breaks through 97. If it does, we'll get out some in the 90s. And here it goes, 99. There it is, 91s. So that's a decent winner. That's a 30-cent winner. Here we go. Let's go through 9, baby. We've got Works long $8.66. Not only can we crush these big stocks, but we also start crushing some of these micro caps with Works. There it is, guys. Brendan, what you got, bud?
Another one, guys, we were talking about earlier, NNBR, now 75%. I mentioned this one as it was breaking highs over here. Just broke day highs again on significant volume. So NNBR still moving higher, guys.
And there's
we talk about being patient sometimes. For those of you that were looking to finally go long Square, here comes a move up. We do add to our position to 57. We talked about that one. Now we're making that run to VWAP. Takes them out in front of it. It's going to be the play. But then you want to run it into this failed high around 58.50. That'll be about $1.20, $1.30 as an ultimate target on the last of your shares. So when it moves in the money for me here like this, I will usually move my stop up. So forget about risking 20 to 25 cents. Now we're basically risking nothing. If If it breaks even here, that's going to be our worst case scenario on Square. Finally to the upside as the market retakes 27.30. That's the level we talked about all morning long, guys.
And here is a 60-penny winner right now on Works. So it's a little bit of a wheel of fortune here for this one, but we're long, guys. 866, bang, bang, bang. We'll wait to see how high you can get up. We may take some out at 925 here. I don't know, but once again, here you go to the upside. 866, my first long down here. 666, maybe a little ominous now. We're long at 866 here. So a nice little move to the top side. 925. We'll look to get out of half of what we have left, but here we go again, guys. The only losing trade we've given to you so far today has been Roku. I do want to hit that Square long as well. Needs to go a little bit more for me, but here goes the futures and Works explode the money up to 930. This is a 70-cent winner on an $8 name. Did I say 70? We mean 80 up to 950. Maybe we'll get some out at 950 now, but there goes Works. Follow me on Twitter, guys. We have all of these bangers. Let's go. We'll take some out 950. Let's go.
And there we go, first out on Square. If we mentioned that one to you, we'll take the quick
Bang.
50 cents on the first half. Going to see if we can't run it. As long as we hold above 27.30, as long as we hold above break even, we're going to stick with the long trade in this one. As it's been a fantastic opportunity, both short and long in Square. Good stock to trade on the session. This is what we're talking about, guys. Ultimately, you have to have the names that are in play, the ones that are moving. The market may not be as volatile, but that doesn't mean there isn't money to be made if you're trading in specific names. And if you watch the ticker below, worth noting here, that's not the entire market. Those are the names that are on our watch list. Those are the names that we find the most interesting, that are moving, and that we add and that Brendan talks about. But we've teased it all morning long, and I think it's going to be a fantastic little segment here. We have our guest of the day. Let's throw it right on over to Brendan Wiggins.
Hey guys, yeah, really happy to have Sean Shirzadi back with us once again today. TraderTV.live donating $1,500 every single week for the past 3 weeks now, including today, to the Flemington Food Bank. Obviously a very trying time for a lot of people struggling with job loss and not being able to find food on the shelves. So really important to do our part where we can in helping out those in need. We were having a little bit of technical issues with Sean, but he has joined us now. There he is. Sean, good to have you back on the show. Obviously, a very busy time for you. Tell us how things are this week.
Hi guys, how are you? Happy Easter. I have my partner here, Q Aldella, that is one of the senior volunteers with me here. Everything is going good. We've been running in some trouble with bread and cooking oil. For 3 weeks now, we haven't got a single piece of bread. I can show you our bread basket there. It's empty. We're stocked up in a lot of other stuff, but the food bank's getting busier now, and this is my manager here. He doesn't have a headphone on. Number one guy, Rashadi. Anytime you guys ever want to come down here, volunteer, bring your kids down, this is the man you're going to see. He's here full time. He's the engine behind this place. So thank you, buddy. God bless you, man.
Yeah, Sean, talk to us about the hours this week. Obviously, you were operating the last time we spoke on reduced hours. What's the schedule like if people do want to come down and help out?
Again, same thing. We're 2 days a week. Again, for safety, like right now we had a bunch of guys line up. We start around 12 o'clock handing out food. I'm going to show you the food bank in a minute, but they weren't listening. They're not wearing masks. They're not wearing gloves. So we're very adamant with them to. So my guys here, I consider them frontline workers. They're dealing with 300-400 different individuals daily. And that's my biggest concern, to be safe here. So that's your donations helping us buy masks. We're going to end up buying bread now. We called out to Rabba Foods. A lot of the Canadian traders will know the brand. They're trying to get us some bread and cooking oil.
Great stuff. You mentioned bread there, a shortage on bread. Is there any kind of restrictions as far as where these products are coming from that you will accept? Can someone make a loaf of bread at home and bring it?
Yeah, of course. As long as they're touching it, they're clean. But the truth is, these guys, they got 4 or 5 people in their families. They're not really concerned about that. So if you guys have somebody that wants to cook bread and drop it off to us, we're more than welcome. Right now, the biggest thing for us, for the need, is for them to feed them. I'm not concerned where they come. Even if you guys got a wholesaler that has a day-old bread or 2-day-old bread, we'll actually buy it and come and bring it here and hand it out. So.
Outside of that, we talked last week a little bit about some cooking oil and rice as well.
Right.
How are things doing in those departments?
Yeah, I'll show you that. 1 second. This is, I'll show you here. So here's the rice. We just got the 2 skids of rice.
Great stuff.
Yeah, so we got some more coming today. The landlord here, he actually donated a bunch. Also, our bread is here. We just got a shipment from Daily Bread Food Bank. They're the mothership. You'll hear about them all over the news. They're the big guys. And this is our bread basket. It's been empty for 3 weeks. Even when we get bread, usually we divide in a couple of different bags so everybody can get some. So here's the boxes that we use to hand out when individuals come. Sign on them. You'd be shocked. Like box like this would feed a family of 4 or 5 for a week. One box like this. See how small it is? Look at this. Half of our guys probably spend that on lunch today, taking a break.
Talk a little bit about the time involved, Sean, in putting something like that together. How many boxes are you putting together, and how long does something like that take?
So, and usually we do about 300-400 boxes a day. This is we have about 4 or 5 volunteers today here, but usually we have about 10. But for safety reasons, we have toned it down a bit. For being close to the other volunteers and stuff. Oh, we just got some fruit, fresh tomatoes they're bringing in right now.
Great stuff.
Hello, Salah. How are you, brother? How are you?
Live on TV. Sean, as far as needs going forward, do you see anything that might be kind of dwindling in supplies at this point that we could look out to the next couple of days as being a problem?
So Wednesday we had 90 new families come to the food bank trying to use it. So Shadi today told me that if that keeps going, we're going to run out of milk and eggs. So I'm going to have to work on that now. Thank you for your generous donations. That's where it goes. So I call out to different places, but the thing is everybody's cooking now at home. They're staying at home. So that's probably why the bread is not coming. Flour is scarce and they're selling in their retail stores. That's probably why they can't donate to Daily Bread.
And we have a need specifically for the basics, with bread, milk, dairy products, cooking oil. Those are the specifics that we need right now, which are the most high in demand and the basic necessities.
If
we can reach out to have access to just the basics, that would help us get through these times right now.
Sean's phone having a little bit of trouble. Guys, they're there. Sean, if people can't actually physically get down to donate or donate their time even, where can we get a hold of you, either on the web or maybe a phone number even if you want to give it out?
Yeah. So my personal cell is 416-471-1280. Me and Q drive around all day picking up stuff, so we don't mind going anywhere. An hour out, 2 hours out of the city, we'll go pick up whatever they have.
Great stuff. Give everyone the website to get a hold of you as well.
It's fcfoodbank.com, and our email address is info@fcfoodbank.com.
Fantastic, guys. All the best. Obviously, a very trying time, a very busy time. Hopefully, Sean, we can check back in with you once again in the near
see you next week, guys.
future.
Thank you.
Great
God
stuff.
bless you guys.
There we go, guys. Sean Shirzadi from the Flemington Food Bank. Once again, tradertv.live, donating $1,500 again this week. We've done it every week for the past 3 weeks. We'll check in with Sean once again in the near future. Let's go back to the guys.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where everybody is affected by this. You can see us doing our social distancing here as well as we can. And any way that you can, find a way to help others. There's lots of people that are, you know, like Sean, you see them on the front lines there. For us, you know, ultimately they're doing that work, and that's why we're trying to contribute any way that we can. Just try to help out. It could be helping a neighbor if they need someone to make a trip for them, drop stuff off at their door, whatever you can. Certainly, it's going to be helping out in the markets. We only have a couple of minutes to go, and I think what I'm going to try to do here is I have a few long positions. We talked about reversing long at 27.30 on the ES and finding some strong names, and so we're just going to go over what I am working with. So I'll jump and throw the position board on and update it for you guys so you can see what we have going into the end of the show. I still have that square law in the second half at 57 even. We did reload. That's $1 in the money, and I talked about $1.25, $1.30 I want for a winner. I've moved my stop up past break even, so we can't do any worse than about 25 to 40 cents worth of a win. I also have a long position that we worked into in Oxy. That's basically flat, just hoping we can get a bit of a rebound or a stronger one in oil futures there. And ATHX, that's the small cap that's not moving. Reverse long on a 340 break, basically been flat. 335 is my stop, only risking about 10 cents on that one. And I also talked about Tiffany at that little bottom, showing some strength at 128, so just long in front of that name as well. So it's been the shorts all morning long until we got finally a reversal, and now I've worked into the long positions. We'll take this off. Sean, want to give a bit of a recap what you got going on here?
I just got monster winners going on. That's about all. Cash register this one up. Works. We just talked about that on the chat a little bit. And yeah, it's $1.80. So I'm $8 name, $1.80 in the money. Something like 20% there. So great little long on this one. Still running this to the highs here. We did get some out at 950. It tops out at 1080 there. No idea. This thing could fade all the way back down. So we only have 25% of our original position. But yeah, you want to talk about a winner, this is what we're talking about today. I'm at the highest I've been all day today net-wise, so that's been good. All we're waiting for now is Virgin Galactic to get going here. I did take that out for 8 pennies. We are going to wait for more. So the only position I have on right now is Space and Works. But this Works position, guys, is long right here at 866. Follow me on Twitter. I'm tweeting these out. We'll be tweeting out some more positions in the afternoon. So get us going on that one. But it's been an absolutely fantastic day. You can see all the profits at the bottom. CCL. Facebook, I mean, look at my CCL trade here off on the morning. You guys talked about how many trades we've made. If you guys can guess, how many fills have I made today? It was over 200 on Thursday. It's southbound of that today because we just had, and I've made more money today than we did on Thursday and with less trades. Look at this CCL, bang, bang, bang. That's been a big trade. My MU, it got pretty sweet. Selling up here, going long. Now MU fading back, bouncing around, but MU a good little short here, 45.50 if you can get it. And then the Tesla trade, these were the money makers today. You guys know that. We've already done it as trade of the day. And right here, we'll put a little ellipse here. We go long our first trade down here, 586, wow. And then our second long down here, 604, wow on that one. We take over, I think it was $10, $11, $12. You can see the bottom there today on Tesla. It doesn't seem like that much, guys, but we'll take it depending on the shares that you have. We're been huge today. Work's still going up, $1.80, like I said, in the money. So that's been it for me today. Valeria, when we're ready, is going to have what kind of a day it is today. I'm wondering what kind of a day it is. I know it's a profitable one, but Valeria, when you're ready, let's see what we have on board. Not ready. Okay, we're past 12 o'clock here, guys. Okay, 6:16. Thank you for joining us. Hit that like button. We do have earnings, though. Let's see with some earnings with the earnings preview, guys.
Some actual names on this board this week, guys. Yeah, we'll throw up the earnings board here. As we mentioned, we're getting back into earnings season, so finally going to have some interesting names to look at here. Yeah, JP Morgan, Johnson & Johnson coming up both tomorrow. Guys, what do we think going into this quarter? I mean, it's been a bit of a mess, to say the least, as far as the overall market is concerned. How are earnings going to be affected?
Well, expectations won't be super high, obviously. I think certainly, you know, we tried some of these names with the banks here looking relatively weak, and that's probably one of those like risk-off situations. I was actually just looking at Johnson & Johnson, so it should be interesting. This one has made a bit of a rise recently off of 108, so a big move to the upside, and it just brushed onto some resistance and failed at 145. So if we get any kind of a good look, it'll be interesting to see if it can make a move through that price. I'm not sure it's going to be fantastic numbers, but J&J, of course, remember, you know, one of the stronger names that you want to look at in terms of how we can have solutions to this virus problem. So that's certainly one I'll have on my radar, in addition to the banks, Wells Fargo, and JPM.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I love all of those spots as well. As long as I'm here, you know we'll be trading those names for sure. I think it's going to be a great earnings season for you guys, so we'll wait to see. All we need, like Neil said, is the volume there, so that will be coming tomorrow. I love JPM and J&J, both now core holdings in my long-term portfolio, so please be a good report. We're not sure what it's going to be, but we'll see tomorrow. Love that one. And WFC, don't like that one. What's up, Valeria?
Hey dear viewers, thank you very much for joining us today. For all of your likes, comments and questions, I hope you've been helpful and entertaining. I'll be better with each day. Subscribe for our channel and you receive notifications when we are back. And we are every day live from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, don't forget to follow Neil, Sean and Brandon on Twitter. Again, our show is close to the end today, but it's the whole trading day ahead and they post charts and a lot of other interesting stuff, so follow them. And as usual, every day I say what National Day today is, and today is National Scrabble Day. Guys, what do you think? Is it more fun to observe us trading live or people playing Scrabble live?
Scrabble live would be boring, I would assume, but what's not boring here is we have this Works. Just talk about this, guys. $11.20. I mean, this is crazy. Up 400% today. Yeah, here we go, guys. we've had $6 winners. Here's a $3 winner on an $8 name, but I like Scrabble. We play Scrabble with our kids. Shout out to them, both 5 years old, 8 years old. Never too... Wow, Works just going. Never too early to get them started with some Scrabble, especially in quarantine times. So, wow, I just can't get over this Works, guys. I'm not going to drop this one. We'll see if this one gets to 17, 18 bucks.
Yeah, as we get out of here, guys, I love Scrabble myself. My parents were always about not taking it easy on us as kids, so I try to do the same when my daughter is eventually old enough to play it. Last thing here, guys, before we work out of here, I did mention what's going on in oil in the chat there. For some of you, it's interesting to see if we can hold above $22.94. We'll take off long positions either at our stop in Oxy or at that price. We're about to get our target in square, so that long finally worked out for us. Brendan, it's been a fantastic show. Any final thoughts?
I was just sitting here wondering what the word score would be for Works, guys. That sounds like a trivia question, maybe for tomorrow. WORX. I don't know what X is worth, but that sounds like a trivia question for tomorrow. We'll give away another well-used tradertv.live mug, guys.
If you get the triple letter score, I mean, everything is about placement, my friend. Placement.
Yeah, there we go. Regardless of what you score, we're scoring big time with this stock today. Okay, here, $3 winner now on Works. And finally, guys, as we let this thing go, there goes SpaceX. So everything just keeps getting bigger and better for yours truly. We're now up, the highest point we've been at all day. Keep saying that now, as Works going to break through $13, $12 soon. Wowzers on that one. SpaceX up in the money in Works. What a great show. Neil, wrap this up. I'm exhausted.
Absolutely, guys. And look, we're going to be here all week for you. It's a full week. It should be exciting. Earnings season coming back into play as we showed you on the board. Make sure you tune in every single day at 9 o'clock. Get that pre-market action, the levels that we're looking at. This is what it's all about for the entire team here. Down the line, Valeria doing a fantastic job on the chat. And then give a little wave, guys. I know you guys are going to be on in a second. Valeria on the chat. Sean Katina, as always, doing our social distancing, so he's in the corner. There's the wave. Give it to us. Give it to us, Sean. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Don't worry.
And, of course, Brendan Wickens at the desk. And, as always, for myself.
All-time highs, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm tweeting out. Works. Let's go. Chicken dinners, guys.
And myself, Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are in the world, this is tradertv.live. We'll see you tomorrow.